what a beautiful day it was yesterday, and a beautiful night. I mean, wasn't it? It was just incredible. We had, you know how many trick-or-treaters we had? How many? 3,200. No, not that much. Actually,
More
we didn't.
Three.
We didn't have many at all in our neighborhood.
No, you know what? I was talking to my fiance about this. I think the problem is that a lot of these.
Hello, here he is, the man of the hour, Andrew W.
Thank you. I've got a comment here about trick or treating.
Can't wait to hear it.
I think a lot of the numbers dwindling from trick-or-treating organically are from all
you're
the
saying
events.
the numbers are dwindling.
Yeah, and they have, at least for my neighborhood.
From yours.
Yeah, my fiance gets very upset about it, as do I. She always wants to be handing out all the candy and wants to see all the kids in their costumes.
I think these kids...
She decorated the whole house yesterday.
I have my own theory.
Well, my theory is that...
I'm going to tell you, your theory and your fiance's theory is wrong.
Okay, it's not my fiance's, it's mine.
The correct theory is...
Yes?
These kids are lazy asses.
Okay, I don't think
That's
it's that.
That's the theory. They're a bunch of lazy asses.
I don't know about that one.
They are like, I'm going to sit home and get my candy. You bring it to me. Oh, God, these kids. It's terrible.
It's the increase in these events like trunk or treat events and more organized events.
You might be right. You may be right.
It's the parents don't want to do the whole trick or treating around different various neighborhoods, knocking on doors.
Well, maybe
go to this controlled environment.
Maybe it's the parents who are lazy asses.
That could be. Yeah.
You may be right. I may be crazy. It might just be a lunatic we're looking for. Good morning. It's Friday. You can tell we're a little bit excited about
the weekend.
About Friday.
Yeah. Not too excited about my pick of the Texans.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, Richard is asking this morning. He's always on you. I don't know why.
No.
Richard, why are you always
better to do?
Why are you always on Andrew? Here is what Richard says, if I can get it to play, or it keeps. I don't know. Weird. Can Andrew ask Andrew how the Jets stunned the Texans when the Jets were 3-point favorites in the game?
They stunned them because they've been terrible all year. They suck. C.J. Stroud is actually, in my opinion, right now, not all time, because obviously Aaron Rodgers has had a phenomenal career, and I've enjoyed many irregular seasons as a Green Bay Packers fan with him at the helm. But I think C.J. Stroud, as of right now, this season is a better quarterback. Not last night.
I'll tell you that one of the things I was told, and I didn't realize this, but
were you stunned that the Jets beat the Texans?
After I spoke with somebody yesterday afternoon, I wish I had changed my pick because the Texans had 3 key players out, including 2 of their star receivers.
Okay. Yeah, well, Stephon Diggs, right, yeah.
That includes Diggs, yeah. So, but there was a total of 3 players, key players that were out, and it was enough for Vegas to say, you know what, we think Rodgers has everything on the line right now.
Yeah.
Because he's been so bad.
Well, it is
and,
let me just tell you.
And Houston is in a little bit of trouble.
And DeMeco Ryans, Richard, is actually a very good coach. And they have an interim coach in the Jets because they fired Robert Saleh early. Mm-hmm. Their franchise is a literal dumpster fire. So yeah, I mean, a broken clock's right twice a day. The Jets are not going to lose out. They're not going to lose every single game. So yeah, it's a little stunning that they beat a really good Texans team. Yes.
Anyway, the only one to pick the Jets to beat the Texans was Larry, if I am correct.
Yeah.
And
there's a reason for that, right, Bill? There's a reason that 5 out of 6 people picked the Texans.
It is, if you look, though, if you go back to the tape, and I swear to you, go back to the tape, I said, I feel like this is a trap game, and I started to go with the Jets, and I changed it to Houston like an idiot.
Well, the good news is...
You know what happens is when you go with your gut, you lose. Then when you have a gut feeling, you don't go with it because you lost.
So Larry has an opportunity here. Depending on Davies' other 2 picks, we do have to get to those at some point. The other 2 games that are big this week: Lions, Packers, Bucks, Chiefs.
This is Michael this morning, This is yay. This is the last Friday before election. Make these political ads stop.
And the mailers. Oh, my goodness.
A lot of mailers.
We couldn't even fit him. We have a mail
isn't
slot.
that the pot calling the kettle black over here?
Take it easy.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't send them every day, 2 or 3 times a day.
Right.
We have the mail slot going into the garage instead of a mailbox.
Just load it up.
It's like they got stuck in there.
You know, they make a wonderful, colorful campfire or a backyard fire.
You know what the material they're made of.
The ink and the materials and the coating that goes on them are all poisonous. So breathe that in and
breathe in and breathe in.
You can blame it on politics. Wayne, you're right. Kids are pretty lazy, period. Richard is bored. Houston is in first and has a better record, so it is an upset. Also, Vegas seems to point the spread towards the visitors. And I do agree with that. They were you have Houston, who is at the top of their division, and I think that would kind of qualify that as an upset. I do, Andrew. So I'm with you on that.
Thank you.
But if
that I'm too worried about it.
If it came down today for home field advantage for the AFC, if it came down to Buffalo, Baltimore, or the Ravens in Texas would have the advantage over the Bills because they both beat them.
Okay. I don't know that that's the case in terms of Vegas.
Well, just saying. I'm sorry, just saying.
Syracuse.
So if someone wants to criticize me, go ahead.
All right, Syracuse.
Are you just saying?
Syracuse football plays tonight.
No. Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was just testing you. We're all testing you this morning. Bum, bum, bum.
I'm 2-0 so far. I passed the test.
You are. Yeah, you are.
No, tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow at noon. That's high noon to you, Davey.
Yep.
And that game is on the CW.
Yep, and Scott will be on later to talk about it.
I do think it's a big game. It's a big game for Syracuse, especially after that walloping they took. It was just terrible. Richard also this morning, if you care, do you? Richard had some comments from yesterday that I didn't get to. Let's see. I have 2 upsets in the NFL this weekend. Tampa beats Kansas City, and Miami beats Buffalo. Davey, you want to respond to that?
He's wrong on both.
Okay. All right.
What was the first one?
Go back to making the cheesecake.
Tampa, boom. Tampa Bay beats Kansas City. Maybe Kansas City's ready to lose. I always feel like they've been ready to lose every game.
2 weeks they will lose.
They haven't. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, that car being used as weaponry, going after people and trying to run them over is a crazy story in Utica.
It's very crazy.
Even in Utica. What do we know? What are police telling us here this morning?
Well, we won't know much as far as the suspect's identity, as she is a 17-year-old female who is a minor, a juvenile. So we will not learn her identity. She's facing several charges, including, if I pull them up here,
it's just
2 counts of attempted assault, 2 counts of assault, attempted assault in the second, a reckless endangerment in the first, criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth. Additional charges are likely as the investigation proceeds. So essentially, Wednesday afternoon, police were called to the 400 block of Blandina Street. There was a lot of fights going on, a lot of like group brawl type.
And this was over the weekend, last weekend.
This happened. This happened Wednesday.
Oh, it did happen Wednesday,
yes.
Right? Of course it did.
Yep, and the fight progressed to the point where the 17-year-old female felt she should get into her vehicle.
Try to run people over.
Yes.
Oh, boy. 17.
Luckily, none of the injuries were life-threatening.
Yesterday, we spoke with Tanya J. Powers on the fact that jaywalking is now legal in New York City.
Thank God.
And believe it or not, I have a little follow-up to that. We have New York City people talking about how they feel about the legalization of jaywalking.
Who cares? So what else is new? I jaywalked my whole life here. I lived here for 60 years and I jaywalked. Gotta be alert. You're in New York. Look alive. You get a chance, you go. Take it. If it's safe? If it's safe, you go. Watch both ways, because now we got these guys.
When was the last time you heard somebody say that, I'm happy they caught that jaywalker?
No. He's got a point.
That she said what? I'm happy because of a jaywalker? I don't know what she said. Anyway, that's what New Yorkers say about jaywalking.
Yeah.
In L.A., I love this. I do not love this, but it happened. It happened. I mean, Andrew, you'll love this.
Yeah.
An L.A. Dodgers fan blew his hand off with fireworks while celebrating the World Series victory.
Oh, my gosh.
And actually blew his hand off and a few fingers on the other side.
Oh, my gosh. You never want to wish physical injury on someone.
The video is extremely graphic. Doctors say the man has no life-threatening injuries, but they will not be able to reattach.
So his
the
whole
blown up hand and the blown up digits on the other hand.
Oh my goodness!
Here is the audio we have.
Oh, his hand blew! I know it did. Oh my goodness, bro.
That's disgusting.
Oh, his hand blew off. There he is. I have no hand. It's like a horror flick.
Gosh.
Then they all said, run for the hanging chainsaws.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It was weird.
Why don't we just get in the running car?
Ba, 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 ba. Why would you do that?
That's a great commercial.
Run for the cemetery. I love that commercial. A woman in New Orleans stole an ambulance on Tuesday night, took it for a joyride before it was eventually recovered with two EMTs and a patient still inside. Now,
oh my God.
Even the worst of criminals would do the right thing, right? Quick, to the hospital. Let me get these people to the hospital. Here's a witness, Isabella Potsky, talking about what she saw as the incident unfolded.
Just slamming on the window going, open this car, open the door, open the window. She was driving. I don't know if she was intoxicated or not, but she was in the car driving. She finally opens it, and they grab her, and they throw her down on the ground. Then the whole, pretty much, precinct showed up.
Okay. Today is the first day of November, and this weekend is daylight saving time coming to a close.
Extra hour of sleep.
Which means you will be moving your clock backwards.
Yep.
Which will give you an extra hour of sleep on Sunday morning.
And more depressing darkness earlier.
And the sun will set on Sunday evening at 4:48 or 4:49, something like that. So be aware and be ready for that. Do you also know that this is a year where Thanksgiving lands late? I believe if you look up the calendar, and I probably can do it right now. If you look up your calendar, you're going to find Thanksgiving is not only late, but it lands on the 28th of November.
It is.
Which means you will then only have for weekends 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you will have 4 full weekends for Christmas shopping, but normally you would get 5.
Happy holidays.
And here we go.
I know you're going to start seeing Christmas music
after Tuesday. You will see the elimination of all of the political commercials, but it will be followed by the addition.
Oh, it's already begun.
I know it has. I saw a Christmas commercial last weekend in football.
I went to a big
but you're going to see all of the commercials. All those spots that were reserved for politics are going to be replaced with Santa and Jingle Bells and all that crap.
Stuff. The store that I went to yesterday to get the candy for the 5 children that came to the house. Riddled with Christmas stuff
all over the place. Yeah. I wanted to bring you back to the moment that the Dodgers fan blew his hand off. Here it is.
Oh, his hand blew! I know it did. Oh my goodness, bro.
Oh my goodness, bro. We'll break. We'll speak with Willie Waffle. If you're thinking you don't have anything to do this weekend, it is going to cool off. Today our high is 65, which is about where we are right now. And gradually, by this afternoon, you're going to start to see the temperatures go down into the 50s as it will cool off. Tomorrow's high might not even make 50 degrees. And then, believe it or not, when you look to next week, there's a glimmer of what?
70s.
Tuesday, we'll be back up in the 70s.
Love it.
If you can believe it. Quick break, Willie Waffle and things to do streaming-wise or at theaters this weekend coming up.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
The instability of our economy after this election has many worried, and stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Countless Americans are turning to the safest store of wealth in human history to protect their retirement accounts: physical precious metals. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold to protect their hard-earned savings. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to claim yours. Act before the election to take advantage of the current rollover policies, allowing for a quick and seamless transfer into physical gold or silver. Don't let the outcome of this election influence the fate of your financial future. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
Our nation is at a crossroads. In Albany, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support radical policies like cashless bail, which releases violent criminals back into our communities. Worse, John Mannion and Kathy Hochul support defunding the police, taking officers and equipment off of the streets when we need them the most. Now, Mannion's running for Congress, threatening to take Hochul's terrible ideas to Washington, D.C. There's a better choice. Navy veteran Brandon Williams. A former nuclear submarine officer, Brandon Williams has a new mission: defending central New York from the Hochul-Mannion agenda. Unlike John Mannion, Brandon Williams knows how to keep our families safe. In Congress, he's secured millions for local law enforcement, giving cops the tools they need to keep violent criminals behind bars. On or before November 5th, vote for Navy veteran Brandon Williams for Congress.
I'm Brandon Williams, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Brandon for NY22.
Right now at Mattress Express, buy almost any king or queen set in the store and get a free adjustable base upgrade. Everybody loves a free adjustable base. And take up to 5 years to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Richard piping back in here, going back and forth. This is the first time I've ever heard of a favorite winning called an upset. Oh my God, upsets are when the underdog wins. I can't stop laughing at you people.
It's not an upset. I didn't say upset. I said they stunned them.
Stunned them. I do think that when you have a team that is in first place and a team that is trending backwards, I don't care what Vegas says, it would be a shocking defeat.
Yes, I never said
the
upset.
First place team, Richard. I'm sticking up for Andrew here.
You could even say
I'm with Andrew.
Even if there were teams,
I'm also with Andrew.
You could, yeah, I love that commercial. You could also say that a team that was favored, who beat another team in brutal fashion, stunned them, right? Like if you score 50 or more points against a team and they can only score like 3 or 7 points, that would be stunning.
As I said in the political ad, I'm with you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Davey was in one of those commercials, so he's an expert. This finally is happening. This is very interesting, and I have a very interesting opinion that because I'm for, listen, whatever you want to do, if this is your life, it's not mine. Why should I have any opinion in your life? As long as you don't impose your life on me. And I'm talking about issues such as transgender. Do I think that that incident that occurred in the Olympics or whatever, where somebody who's muscular and is a male transitioning to female should be competing against women in a sport? No, I don't feel that way. But here's another area where I'm kind of on that one would say that I'm on the wrong side of this issue. There would be people out there that I would say I'm on the wrong side of the issue, but I'm just going to tell you. A transgender woman in Albany is suing Hooters for discrimination. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion, and it's going to be misogynistic.
It's going to be stunning.
And it's misogynistic, and it is what it is. However, and I want to get Willie Waffle's take on this, too, in a second.
You're going to bring him into this.
I am, because Hooters is a business that is misogynistic. Hooters is a business that is...
They are who they are.
They are who they are.
Yeah.
And so here's what I'm saying. If the transgender woman, former male, now female, if the transgender woman looks and plays the part, I think Hooters hires the transgender woman.
Okay.
If the transgender woman looks like a beautiful female, and again, sexist, I'm being sexist here, because what do you think Hooters is?
Right.
All right? Hooters is sexist. It is that's their business. They're the Hooters, I don't know if you realize this, but it's not really owls.
No, they're
it's
not. No,
women's breasts.
Yeah, right.
So
it's not all about the chicken wings.
Hot women and all of that, all of those things. So here's the thing: ugly women, fat women, teeny weeny women, women who are too big, women who are too tall. They're probably not going to get hired by Hooters. Hooters, women who are too old. This is a misogynistic business. It is absolutely what it is. So to say that the transgender woman was not hired because she is transgender, no, I don't believe that. I believe she was not hired because it didn't fit their description of what a Hooters girl should look like. So is that wrong? Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's
maybe she wasn't attractive enough.
Is that wrong? Maybe.
Yeah.
But if you're Hooters...
You're looking in the realm of Hooters here.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
I want to bring in
Willie
Waffle.
And they have short shorts, too.
I want to bring in Willie Waffle. They do, very short and tight. Willie Waffle, if I could, for his... I'm sorry to bring you into this, Willie, but I'm doing it.
He's never calling in again.
So the transgender woman is now suing Hooters because she was not hired. What do you think? I know your silence. I know your silence,
it's
Willie.
Deafening. Your silence is deafening.
But where are
you?
Where are you in this issue of the Hooters transgender girl not being hired?
That's an issue now? This happened?
So the transgender woman in Albany is suing Hooters because they discriminated against her, she says, and they did not hire her. And I believe that it wasn't. I believe she just didn't fit the mold,
just
literally of what Hooters looks for.
Well, and that there have been other people, I think, that have sued Hooters, for similar type reasons. Like, men, I think, have sued, things like that. And I thought Hooters may have won those cases by just saying that that they are basically not. I mean, they're like an entertainment restaurant, and that the people they hire are supposed to fit a certain look, and they just would have to argue that this transgender person just didn't fit that look.
Didn't fit the look.
I think we would have to see a picture of this
I'm going to tell you,
transgender person.
It brings me. I'm looking here, and while probably attractive, I don't think she fits.
She's
the mold.
in there.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah, you can look at the picture. It reminds me, Willie. It reminds me.
My biggest shock is that Hooters is still open. I thought they were out of business.
Well, they left Syracuse.
They've survived the Me Too movement.
They are big in the South. They are big in the South, but still exist on Wolf Road in Colony near Albany's Airport. They're still going at it, and it is what it is. So it reminds me of the time. That's actually was one of Andrew's relatives from years ago. Johnny Ruffing was not hired to play Lassie, and he's like, listen, I can get down on all fours, I'm very hairy, I look like a dog, I can bark like a dog. And they're like, no, we've decided we want a real dog. And Mr. Ruffing was not hired, even though he was listen, it's very simple.
Wrong shame to the family name.
If you do not look the part for something like Hooters, that's a business that is what it is.
So from what I'm seeing, Brandy Livingston, who is suing the upstate New York Hooters, I don't think she fits the traditional Hooters mold, if you look here.
Well, oh, no. No. Oh, I thought the one over here on the left was transgender, but no, she's female.
No way. Well, she wouldn't have been in the uniform. She didn't get hired.
You're right. Good point. But the woman you just showed me, the transgender woman, no.
Yeah,
no way. It has nothing to do. Listen, it has nothing to do with her being transgender. No way.
Look, if you or I.
She looks like a transmission or a fender. She does not look transgender. She just is not something that anybody would hire. For Hooters.
Right.
And again,
wow, we're going down a road here.
Hooters is a sexist business.
Yeah.
Right? It is.
Completely.
It's the business.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine like the Rockettes hiring somebody my size? Right? There's just no way. They're
would be funny.
Listen, their legs are as tall as you are. We aren't hiring you. And you're a male.
You're holding on to one of their legs as it's kicking.
I'd be going up and down, hanging on the leg. I mean, there are certain jobs where you got to be what you got to be.
Right.
And anyway, Willie, I'm sorry to bring you in, but I think you agree with me.
This is the conversation I did not anticipate I would be having this morning.
I know. And I got to tell you, to me, that makes a wonderful day. When you wake up in the morning and you think you know what you're going to be talking about, and then all of a sudden, you're not. Surprise! We're going down a different road. All right, well, let's talk about what you were planning to talk about. What is your thought on The Simpsons and the NFL? December 9th, The Simpsons are going to do an alternative version of an NFL game, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, and my first thought was, wow, this is kind of a copycat of what Nickelodeon has done. This is a copycat of what they did with Disney last year, where they had Toy Story characters in the football game. And it's interesting. I just don't know if it's going to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. So the story is the Simpsons are going to appear in the December 9th football game, the Monday night game between the Cowboys and the Bengals. And it's going to air on Disney Plus, on ESPN Plus, on NFL Plus, and you're going to have Bart as part of the Bengals. You're going to have Homer Simpson as part of the Cowboys. Lisa and Marge are going to be interviewing different players. They're going to have an animated version of Stephen A. Smith, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and they're going to try to kind of use this to appeal to kids. And my first thought was, kids don't watch The Simpsons anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not The Simpsons back like when I was in high school and it was the hottest show like ever. I mean, this is going to appeal more to people my age who used to watch it when we were back in high school. So I don't know if they're really going to appeal to kids with this, but they're going to give it a try. And this is something the NFL has been doing, for the past few years. They're like, listen, we're making, billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, but we can still make more. And so they're trying to get young kids involved, young kids who are now watching more soccer, they're watching more baseball. A lot of parents are not really excited about their kids playing football anymore. So the NFL is trying to get that next generation of fans on board any way they can. And now they're going to use The Simpsons to try to do it.
I think you're right. Simpsons is not something that kids come home and talk about like, oh, I love The Simpsons. It's more of an adult thing. And I think there's more nostalgia tied to it than anything else. I think you're correct. I want to ask you about something that you didn't expect to talk about. By the way, Megan is telling me that the Rockettes have now lowered their height requirement.
Oh, have they? Okay, good.
Yeah, but
then you have a chance.
I might have a chance.
What is it down to, though?
That's the point. It still has...
It's not down to, 410 or something. I mean,
why 410? Why not 211? I mean, anybody should be able to if that's what but it's not. There's still a height requirement. Okay, I wanted to say that I am so excited about the coming soon, the Bob Dylan movie. What do you think?
Looks kind of cool. And there have been other Bob Dylan movies, over the years, but I think this is the first one that's really trying to truly be a biopic.
And man, he looks like Bob Dylan back then.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be cool. So this is going to start Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan, and kind of those early years, hitting Greenwich Village, hitting the Cafe Wha, his friendship with I'm blanking on his name, the big folk singer, who's being played by Ed Norton, for God's sake, which is quite shocking. So I think it's going to be kind of cool. I think that having Chalamet involved is probably the one thing that's going to get younger people interested in it.
Yeah.
Because folks like us, we're going to watch it. We're interested in the Dylan story, but a lot of young kids aren't, but they are big fans of Timothy Chalamet, and I think that's going to make this maybe one of the big movies of Christmas season.
By the way, Mike says, I bet The Simpsons will get the highest ratings of any in these animated episodes, but it won't be the kids watching. It'll be middle-aged men. And you may be right. Yeah. Here in theaters, Tom Hanks and many others live their lives on one patch of land as we, the viewer, watch. What do you think?
Yeah, boy, this didn't work. It's from director Robert Zemeckis. He's worked a lot with Tom Hanks over the years, like the Polar Express and things like that. And it's an artsy idea, people. And it's based on a graphic novel, and Zemeckis tries to make it like the graphic novel, where we're watching through one frame of the comic the whole time.
Yeah, it's one camera angle, right, Willie?
Exactly, it's one camera angle the whole time, and we watch when the dinosaurs were on the land, and then we watch like when Ben Franklin's family was on the land, and then we watch Tom Hanks's mom and dad buy it and live in the house, and you're looking at like one living room or one aspect the entire time, and to me that gets a little bit boring, okay? And the writing's not very good. I mean, anything that doesn't involve like Tom Hanks is really not very well done, and so. With that lack of writing, that lack of storytelling, kind of the boring visual, I'm at one waffle. I was really disappointed. Very disappointed.
All right, that's in theaters this weekend, and a new Netflix documentary is out this week, and it is about, I always thought we had a few of these already out there, but it's about Martha Stewart, and this one might be a bit groundbreaking. What do we know?
Yeah, so this is the Martha Stewart documentary, and it's amazing. Martha Stewart is bad-mouthing this thing. Like, she's saying she doesn't like it. She wishes she hadn't consented to it. She thinks it goes into too much of the negative stuff about her and her legal troubles. And I think Martha is so completely wrong. I am telling you right now, I watched this documentary and I came away thinking Martha Stewart is a stinking hero. Okay,
Wow.
like this is such a good story. I mean, really does go all the way back to you know Martha Stewart starting off as a teen model, getting involved in Wall Street, really building her own business, becoming one of the most successful people
She's tough.
in the history of the planet. Yeah. And it shows that she was tough. Big shock. Successful people sometimes have to be mean.
Willie,
oh no,
Willie, let me tell you. Let me tell you my opinion. I'm going to
Look
tell
at
you.
Ellen.
She, and by the way, I saw her the other day on one of the interview programs.
She was at the Yankee game,
and I didn't see her there. But she looks so young for somebody in her 70s. And
I think she's 82.
82. You
What?
would not know it. You wouldn't know it. But listen,
wow,
she is a brilliant marketer.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Martha Stewart, in order to get people to watch this, is telling everybody, I'm against it. I don't like it. I wish they weren't showing it. Because what does that make you want to do? It's like, oh, she doesn't want it out there.
What's so
I
bad
can't
about
wait
it?
to see this thing.
Yeah,
I
good
almost
point.
feel like she creates a drama, and that could be good for people checking it out.
Well, and I think you should check it out. I think it's the most fair discussion of her legal case that I've ever seen. I think it is fascinating to hear about her time in prison. I mean, and again, I think it really speaks to the resiliency this woman has, the strength she has. This is a 4 waffle documentary.
Wow.
Man. This is fantastic.
4 waffles.
Wow.
All right,
Rarity.
Willie, great stuff. Enjoy the weekend, daylight saving time. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
They keep going to the same states. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 4 days till the election.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. We're going to get them out. We have no choice. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered.
Former President Trump in Henderson, Nevada. Well, Vice President Harris rallied in Reno.
I pledge to you to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans.
Now, they also both went to Arizona, and there will be Trump and Harris rallies tonight in Wisconsin. The former president will also go to Michigan. This, though, as all that campaigning won't matter to the nearly 64 million Americans who already voted early, setting records in some states like Georgia, a toss-up state where more than half of registered voters have cast ballots.
More than 3,650,000 Georgians casting their ballots. The number will increase until early voting in the state ends on Friday and easily exceeds the 2.3 million Georgians who voted early in the last presidential election.
Fox's Jack Callahan. The controversy keeps simmering over President Biden calling Trump supporters garbage. White House officials edited the transcript of Biden's comments over the objection of the stenography office.
The White House added an apostrophe to the word supporters to indicate that Biden was calling the joke made by the comedian during Trump's Madison Square Garden rally garbage and not his supporters overall.
Fox's Brooks Sigmund. 2 people are dead in Orlando, Florida after shooting on the streets downtown, scaring people for real during a Halloween celebration after midnight.
We talked to 2 people who are bartenders, and they said that they had to hide. They didn't see the shooters, but they heard gunshots. So they said that it was a very tense and scary moment.
That's Marley Capper with Fox 35 TV. 6 other people were shot and wounded. They did arrest a suspect, a 17-year-old. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
It's a case that's gotten national attention in New York City.
After a sometimes contentious jury selection process that lasted for several days, the trial of Daniel Penny is expected to get underway with opening statements. Penny is charged with second-degree manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely. Penny, who is white, put Neely, who was black and unarmed, in a chokehold for 6 minutes on a subway car in May of last year, resulting in Neely's death. Penny has pleaded not guilty and says Neely was threatening others on the train. If convicted of the manslaughter charge, Penny faces up to 15 years in prison. A conviction on the homicide charge could add up to 4 more years. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
We will get the last big economic report before the election next hour. The monthly hiring update expected to show about 110,000 jobs created. Less than half September's number.
The jobs report is key input for the Fed and will likely influence the central bank's decision on interest rates when they gather next week. The unemployment rate is expected to hold steady at 4.1% for a second month after falling unexpectedly to that level in September.
That's Fox's Hillary Barsky. Now, ahead of that report on Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after a big sell-off. On Thursday Night Football, the New York Jets snapped a 5-game losing streak.
Aaron Rodgers tossed 3 second-half touchdown passes to lead the Jets past the Texans 21-13. Rodgers found Garrett Wilson for the first 2 TDs. The second touchdown was a one-handed grab that was ruled out of bounds, but the on-field call was overturned after video review. Rodgers then connected with his former Green Bay Packers teammate Devontae Adams for the clincher with 2:58 left. The Jets raised their record to 3-6, while Houston fell to 6-3. Bob Mortale, Fox News.
In Los Angeles, hundreds of thousands of Dodgers fans will celebrate today with a World Series victory parade. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, news time 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the Stanley Center for the Arts. Right now, we're at 61 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. Firefighters responded to a house fire in the town of Columbia Thursday afternoon. Calls for a fire on Elizabethtown Road came in around 4:30 p.m. not far from the Cedarville Fire Department. The fire chief told WKTV that the house was a rental and no one had lived there since July. Fire officials believe the fire started in the first floor living room. Multiple companies were called in to battle the fire because there were no hydrants in the area. Additional fire departments were called in from Bridgewater, Clayville, West Winfield, and German Flats. The home is not a total loss, and fire investigators will be back on scene Friday as the cause of the fire is still under investigation. A New Hartford man was arrested for failing to register as a sex offender Thursday in September. New Hartford police were made aware of a sex offender, 46-year-old Stephen Hale, that previously resided in the town but had moved to a new address in New Hartford. He had failed to notify the police of his change of address as required by law. While investigating the offense, police learned that Hale, a level 2 sex offender, had moved to a third address within the town, which he also failed to notify New Hartford police. Hale was already been arrested, who had already been arrested by Herkimer police on a warrant, was currently incarcerated in Herkimer County Jail, was brought to the New Hartford Town Court, where he was charged with failure to register as a sex offender, a Class E felony. Utica police are releasing more details on the incident in which a 17-year-old girl used a vehicle to run down several people. Police say they were called to the scene at the 400 block of Blandina Street just about 3:15 p.m. Wednesday. Upon arrival, personnel located multiple people still on scene and were directed towards several parties suffering various injuries as a result of being struck by the vehicle. It was learned a series of altercations had taken place throughout the day, culminating in a large fight on the 400 block of Blandina. As the fight was occurring, a 17-year-old intentionally drove her vehicle into a crowd. Luckily, none of the injuries were severe. Through the investigation, the identity of the driver was developed. and she's been arrested and charged with several counts, including 2 counts of attempted assault in the first and 2 counts of assault in the second. And clocks will go back 1 hour this Sunday. Daylight saving time ends at 2 a.m. November 3rd and starts again in March of next year. That means an extra hour of sleep. Only Hawaii and Arizona don't observe daylight saving time. There have been proposed bills that would end the time change every year and make daylight saving time permanent. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Jimmy Fallon's show, coming to the Capitol Theater on December 6th. You can get your tickets now.
Here's the latest forecast from the WIBX Weather Center. Temperatures will trend cooler to start off November today. A front also will produce some scattered showers at times. After a mild start to the day, temperatures will drop to the low to mid-50s later this afternoon with some of the wind gusts from the west as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour. There still may be a few scattered showers tonight, otherwise cloudy with a low dropping to 39. A few breaks in the clouds tomorrow with a high of 50. A little bit warmer Sunday to wrap up the weekend with sunshine and a high near 54. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 61 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Well, the Jets beat the Houston Texans. Maybe that's a better delivery for the...
As expected, they were favored, Andrew.
Yeah, as expected, yes. They should have won.
Richard, we're busting your chops.
They snapped their 5-game losing streak after upsetting a Super Bowl. Oh, sorry. They upset them. Maybe that's what I said in this copy here.
When
that
you
I
said upset, you were meaning that when they lost, they were
upsetting.
really bothered. They were upset.
Really upset, yes.
They were upset.
Especially because they were down the whole time, and if it had not been from a back end zone one-armed catch by Garrett Wilson, they would have lost.
I watched the first half of that game, and I'm like, why am I wasting my time? Let me find one of the other 900 channels on this cable system that have something more entertaining. I mean, did you see the touchdown that got called back?
I did not, no.
Oh, you know why? Because he celebrated, dropped the ball before he crossed the goal line.
Oh, my goodness.
And then rolled through the end zone, outside the end zone, and it was given over as a touchback to the defense. It was given to the Jets. Unbelievable.
Oh, what a dummy. What a dummy.
There's the first 7 points they lost.
Okay.
Like, this game is terrible. I'm going to bed.
So Gangrene beat the Texans 21-13 on Thursday Night Football from MetLife Stadium. After being shut out in the first half of the game, Aaron Rodgers threw 3 touchdown passes to lead his team to the win. Garrett Wilson caught 9 passes for 90 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Devontae Adams also caught a touchdown. Some of the NFL's greatest coaches are among the 9 semifinalists nominated for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tom Coughlin, Mike Holmgren, Mike Shanahan, and George Seifert are joining several others in the next stage of the voting process. Only one finalist from the coach category group will be named a finalist to be considered by the full Hall of Fame selection committee for possible election in 2025. The Coach Blue Ribbon Committee has a virtual meeting scheduled for November 19th where they will nominate one finalist to be considered for enshrinement. That's kind of difficult because you've got some great names in there and they only pick one. That's very interesting. What else do I have for you here? Juan Soto, oh boy. He has said that he isn't shying away
New York Mets
from
Juan
his current
Soto.
situation.
He's excited about this. He's excited. He's like, listen, I'm valuable, and I have no loyalty to anybody.
Right, correct.
I'm not sure we want him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
But
Yeah,
if you
we
sign
do.
him for a long contract, he'll be loyal.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Let's get him.
He is looking to all 30 teams to make a good offer. My personal opinion, which probably means nothing, is that he will be either a Yankee or a Met next year. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 712. I want to tell you that Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff treated me very wonderfully when I was a patient of theirs just a little bit earlier this year. I ran a half marathon I had no business running, and that led to I finished, but that led to some foot and ankle pain and inflammation that just would not go away. And then I met Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff, and they treated me very well. This technology was developed in Germany. It is essentially a device that looks like a sonogram wand. They apply a gel to the impacted area, similar to the area that's being sonogrammed, I guess. And they run that device over your impacted area, and it sends high-speed sound waves there, which directs your body's natural stem cells and blood flow to the area to promote natural healing. It is an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. And Dr. Tim Delmedico believes in it so much that he's given up his chiropractic business. He sold it to fully focus on getting people better with Revive soft wave therapy. And he's a representative for the technology, selling it to other practitioners because he just wants people to experience this revolutionary and groundbreaking technology. And he's giving you, the Keeler listener, a deal. If you call them right now or when they open, 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427. You'll get a discount on your initial consultation with one of their doctors, your first softwave therapy treatment at that consultation, and they'll put you on a treatment and recovery plan that's right for you. Get more information, reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy, 2709 Genesee Street in Utica.
Coming up this hour, we're doing Hobica's free money question of the day. And anybody can win that. Davey, the amount of money on the line this morning is, on this first day of November,
$300.
Wow,
Okay.
sticking with the 300. Are you eating in there?
No, I was eating in the newsroom.
Oh, you weren't. I saw you. You had food in there. Oh, boy.
Sneaking
no food. I don't know if you see the sign on the wall. No food or drink except Diet Pepsi allowed in studio.
When can we, Tracy,
I wasn't eating in the studio.
Tracy, our big boss, is away.
She's away.
The engineers
He
no
doesn't
longer
work
here
anymore.
Yeah, they're
I
gone.
think
we're just going to go all
we
in.
can just have my coffee in here.
I'm going to get a keg for Monday. We're going to bring in a keg. Just put it right there.
A keg of Diet Coke.
Pump that baby up and start pouring it out.
Pump you up.
I'm going to shake it a little bit so there's a lot of foam.
Oh, yeah.
So there's
Spray it
foam
everywhere.
slopping all over the place. No. No drinking food allowed in the studio, Davey. I don't know what you're doing. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to give you a chance to win Hobica's free money question of the day. And as Davey said here this morning, it's worth $350. Thank you, Davey, for that. $350, right? Thank you.
I did not say 350.
Yes,
I said
you
300.
did. No, you said 350. I heard you. Go back and listen to the tape. We tape everything.
I said 300.
You had said 350.
No, I didn't. I said
you didn't.
300.
You said 350.
Okay, I give up. I throw in the white towel.
Okay, it's a white towel that's been thrown in. Thank you. And on that white towel, if you look to the back side of it, it says 350. There you go. And then we have also this hour, if you are, and we're going to do this every week, if you have not downloaded the WIBX 950 app, you figured out we're doing this contest to get you to download the WIBX 950 app? All right. Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I mean, listen, why
You're
wouldn't
going
you
to love the
download
app.
it?
You're going to love it. And if you don't, just ignore it. It's not going to hurt you. And you can control everything in settings. You should definitely get this app because it doubles your chances of qualifying for the gas giveaway. It is Free Fuel Friday, and that is today. Every day, and it'll be next week as well. We did it this week. We pick one qualifier off the radio, one qualifier on the app. And those people get a $25 gift card, gas gift card.
That's pretty
from
awesome.
Cliff's local market. And then after we select 8 people, 8 of them, we come to today. After we select 8, and we draw for a $500 gas winner. And we're going to do that after the free money question of the day. So do me a favor, clear out everything from like 7:40 to 7:50. We're going to give away some dough. And that includes a $500 gas card.
So it's going to be a contest hour.
A contest, 10 minutes.
Yes.
From 40, like
That's why I said
7:40 until 7:50. So clear that out.
Clear it
I need
out.
time. Anyway, we'll draw. There are 8 contestants. We'll read off their names coming up in a few minutes. And we'll draw, and somebody's going to win a $500 gift card. I love this contest. Here is Mike and Skylar. And good morning, Mike. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Are you there?
Yes.
This is the
I'm sorry.
operator.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, operator.
You know, I don't think that even. I don't even think that person exists anymore.
Can you help me make this call?
Jim Croce?
Yeah.
He doesn't exist, and nor does the operator.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's up?
I know. Anyways, I think it's time we need to move from Yankee stupidity to Apple intelligence. I think it's time.
I like the line.
I am a little disappointed that they haven't released more. Like, they're doing it in stages. So in December, there will be another release.
Mm-hmm.
But I like what they've done so far. It's
still got to figure out what I haven't really.
I haven't either. I got to look online to see how to use it all.
Well, my final comment. I had in the year. It was tough. It was great. That last game was great until after the great catch into the
until
wall.
It wasn't.
Right. But I really think I contribute the loss to two things. Obviously, in that tough inning when there was a 500 runs, but that even the error the judge made.
Oh, we're talking about I thought you were talking about the game last night. We're talking about the Yankees game still.
Come on.
Oh God!
Because I couldn't talk yesterday.
I know.
When he crashed into the wall, there's a great catch, right? But
you think he banged his head up a little bit? Maybe banged his head.
I don't know. But when he dropped it, that was okay. But the one that I can't get past is when that ground ball and between Rizzo and Cole.
Unbelievable.
It was still 5-0 then.
No one hustles to get that ball.
Listen, first of all, the minute that ball was hit, Rizzo should have been going to first base.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's baseball basics.
I mean, Cole should have covered, but yes.
Cole, right. I'm sorry. It was hit
right. It was hit to Rizzo, and Cole should have covered first.
Cole should have immediately begun running. I'm sorry. I reversed that.
Listen, it was at that point. It was at that point that it was still 5-0 with 2 outs.
Right.
It was the people don't realize that.
And then did you see Rizzo though? Did you see Rizzo? And he's just like looking like, "No, I'm not going to run. That's your job." No,
it's like the Knobloch event.
If somebody screws up, you gotta. And you know what? I think Rizzo could have made it. I think he could have gotten to first base.
Absolutely.
Give me a break.
Especially right after Judge makes an incredible catch at the wall. After he does that great catch, that happens. But even with that being said, when those 5 earned runs, they still were not losing. They still had the one run, right? Because
it was 6-5 at one point.
Yeah.
The other thing that I just bothered me was when Boone put that one pitcher in.
Yeah, Canely, who has one pitch.
Pitch a changeup.
Yeah, dumb.
57 changeups in a row. So you know what? All the batters know what's coming, and that's who gives up. That's when the 2 runs.
Did you see Aaron Boone coming out? He's chewing his gum when he was coming out of the dugout. He's chewing his gum like fast, looking down like, oh my God, whatever I do, they're going to hate me for it.
Well, listen, he knows he's getting a contract extension.
He probably is. So. All right, do me a favor, Mike. Put your right hand in the air.
Okay.
I promise. Repeat it and repeat after me. I promise.
You promise?
No. You promise.
You promise.
I promise. Put your right hand in the air and repeat after me. I promise.
I promise. Yeah.
To stop talking.
Stop talking
about the Yankees. So help me God.
About the Yankees until next year.
Until next year. All right, fair enough. All right, Rob, Mike, John, Ted.
I state your name, whatever it is.
Okay, Mike. Thank you. And
have a good week.
Listen, pitchers and catchers, I believe they're reporting in just 122 days.
Less than that, probably.
And they have great chicken wings, Andrew, too. They have great chicken wings over there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Okay,
of course, referring to the family establishment, Hooters.
And what do we want to go to this right now before we break?
Yeah, we should break, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm not breaking.
Oh, no. Davey says let's break.
Healthcare costs skyrocketing, and it's causing many companies to make changes in their plans by shifting more of the burden on the backs of employees. And here to talk about that is national thought leader in the field of health and welfare, Dr. Eric Neptune, who has just hung up on us. Apparently, what happened, Davey?
He never answered, so we're having trouble.
Oh, he never even answered? Screw it. I don't want to do it anyway. It sounds boring. Why do I want it? Andrew, you picked this?
No, Davey did.
Davey? The hell is wrong with you, man? There are better topics than that. Andrew's just ripping it up right now. You know Andrew's the one that picked it. Got a break. We should have done that in the first place. Let me break. By the way, Mike this morning says the reason it's 350 is because, Davey, while you were chewing, you might have said 300, but it sounded like 350. Got a break. We're coming right back here.
Jobs down. Crime up. 200,000 migrants reach New York. The headlines haven't changed. For 15 years, Kirsten Gillibrand's talked the talk, but she hasn't walked the walk. Gillibrand's failed to fix the economy, and she helped pass cashless bail and open the southern border.
I'm Mike Sapricone. I spent 20 years as a New York City cop, working the toughest beat in the country. Then I started a global security business right here in New York. I've traveled to every county and every corner of the Empire State, and I've heard the same thing. People tell me they haven't seen Kirsten Gillibrand for years, and I say you couldn't even pick her out of a lineup. I spent my life getting things done. It's time to finally get serious about fighting crime, creating jobs, and ending the migrant crisis. Let's get going. I'm Mike Sapricone, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Sapricone for Senate.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
Okay then, low miles, real cream puff. Sign here, drive off.
I'd like to read the fine print.
Don't bother, miss.
Mrs. You'd be surprised what you find in the fine print. Like that Prop 1 that's on the ballot.
Equal rights? We love them here at Ace Auto.
Only Prop 1 isn't about equal rights. It's about special rights for illegal immigrants.
Say what?
It's in the fine print. You can read it on the ballot. Under Prop 1, national origin gets constitutional protection.
Huh. That means...
I do my own research.
I noticed.
Well, critics say Prop 1 could block local efforts to deal with the migrant crisis and give illegals a constitutional right to taxpayer benefits. Prop 1 could even open the door for non-citizens to vote here.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm voting no on Prop 1. It's a clunker. Paid for by Vote No on Prop 1 Committee. Vote no on prop1.org.
Oh, you've seen these before. Would you rather be nearsighted or shovel snow? Next one. Would you rather pay less in taxes today or pay less taxes in the future? Lee Baldwin and Company can't help you with eyeglasses, but they can help you find the do's and don'ts of IRA and Roth investing and what a conversion can do for you. Lee Baldwin and Company. Find your investment answers at investtoday.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much. Like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, portions of today's program brought to you by Randall's Pharmacy in New Hartford. Might be a great day. I was just speaking to somebody who has they know someone with shingles right now.
Oh.
So that's 2 people that I know of with shingles that have it really bad. And you try the medicines, you try everything, it can be bad. So maybe today's the day you get that shingles shot. And then you can just walk into Randall's and they'll take care of you. But right now, Randall's Pharmacy is offering to workplaces, businesses, institutions, whatever. If you really want to do everything possible to prevent a mass sickness where everybody gets the same thing at the same time, you do one of these vaccinations where you offer to your employees the vaccine, whether it's COVID or the flu or both. And they'll come in and set up shop at your workplace.
Yeah.
And those interested, you can talk to them and say, it's a good idea to get it. You should get it. And whatever. And you and everybody gets it at the same time. Therefore, it'll help you when it comes to a super spreader situation and that could be the flu, where everybody gets sick at the same time. What does that do for productivity? What does that do for profits?
Wah, wah.
Not good.
And actually, the act of Randall's coming to the workplace helps productivity because it's just like
completely does.
No interruptions.
No interruption at all. It's all done right there in one day.
We have
one morning. Vaccinations, flu and COVID. Any vaccination, you can walk in without an appointment to Randall's in New Hartford or call them today and they'll come to your workplace. 315-732-1615. It's as simple as that.
We do have some comments. It's Deeds.
What did Deeds say that he's apologizing for?
Well, he actually had he went on this whole rant. He kind of said something and then apologized without us even seeing the comment or responding.
I don't even know what he said.
So it started with we were talking about the transgender Hooters waitress.
So what he's saying is you have someone in your family who is trans.
But his comment before says, stop calling him a her. It's a GD man. Even if you are a man that looks like a woman, you cannot call that person a woman no matter what they want to be called. Nope.
See, I disagree with that. And let me just say this. And it has nothing to do with us having a family member. I know you're not done with the comment, but let me just say this. What? If that's what you want to be called, I have no problem with it. That's what you want. That's fine. Who am I to say you shouldn't get what you want? Right?
Right.
I mean, some people want to be called pretty. They ain't pretty. Some people want to be called tall. Look at me. But if I want you to refer to me or see me in the way that I see me, I don't. Why do I care what you're doing?
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. That's how I feel. Now, we have a personal situation, which makes it far more complicated. And it does anger me when people pick on people based on that. It does bother me for personal reasons. Andrew?
But then it goes into a different, there's two different situations here. So then
by the way, on the Hooters situation, I'm for Hooters in this case.
Yeah.
They're a business that relies on sexy women. Oftentimes with, not always, but with,
Well, it's kind of a prerequisite.
It is their thing. It's what the business model is built on.
Yeah.
You can't be a guy and say, how come I can't be a Hooters waiter? They don't have any waiters. Well, because it's Hooters.
Yeah, right.
And if you have a problem with that, I guess you can go after the concept of the business and say they can't have that business, which I think would be wrong. But it is what it is. Am I out in left field on this? Probably for some people.
No. But then it goes into another issue. Then they win and you've made them think that you accept them as a woman. It's crazy. They need a league of their own. So he's talking about the athletics of this.
But the other part of this is you don't have to accept anybody for being, they're not looking for your acceptance. They don't care. Who are we to accept or not accept somebody? As for the sports thing, you got to leave this up to each individual state and their athletic commission. And I think in New York the rules are pretty strict. But a female can petition if a sport is not available. A female could petition to play a male sport in New York, Where people get all nervous is if a male is saying, who is much stronger, is saying, which is such a rare occurrence, very, very, even the part where it would have to be considered is so rare. I don't think somebody who has the strength of a man should be competing on a girls' soccer team. Right?
Yeah, I
but
think
just let these schools and these administrations, and they all have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, I think just the fact that if you're, biologically one way going against biologically another, it does raise some complications.
How many times does it happen?
Oh, I'm not saying it does.
If the moon were to fall, we'd all be in trouble.
Right, but it has happened.
The moon hasn't fallen.
No, the latter,
rare,
the prior.
Extremely rare. We're paying way too much attention to something that happens so rare. You know why? Because it's a great political issue. It's a great let me scare you issue. Very rare across the country. This actually happens.
Jason in Newport saying if they hired the transgender person, customers would sue them for false advertising.
That might be true too. That's possible.
Hooters would be in all different types of trouble there.
Anything further on this? Hey, I opened the can of worms. I opened it. I get it, and I'm just telling you, I'm with Hooters on this one. A strip club, your hot mama's strip club, and guys come out to see. Unless there's some calling for. And believe me, these strip clubs will do anything to keep the people coming in.
Right.
If there's a calling for a transgender, they'll run with it. But if it's going to hurt
transgender night,
they're going to hurt. If it's going to hurt their business, you can't make them hire one of these transgender people just because of equality. Otherwise, a strip club would have to hire men, and they don't have to. I don't know. I think this is pretty simple. For me to understand it, it's pretty simple. Davey, you would be the one introducing. You'd be like, and now, ladies and gentlemen. You'd have to say, ladies and gentlemen. And now, guys.
No, I would have to say, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, guys, here he comes.
Bertha.
Or whatever.
Bart.
Anything further? I have a few other comments here. Keneal. Bill, Davey, Andrew, are you ready for November 5th? Holy moly.
Yes, I am.
It's going to be crazy. Stephen, maybe it would attract a certain clientele that Hooters doesn't want. And Matt says, well, hello, Bill. Well, hello, Matt. And then I have on the line, ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Lucia. Good morning.
Good morning. Buongiorno. Good morning.
Buongiorno.
I just, you ready to vote, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Ready to vote. Yep.
Andrew said he's ready.
No, I'm not, actually. I don't know why I said that. I already voted. I already voted.
Of course.
I'm not ready to vote.
He's ready. You got to be ready, Bill. You're ready.
I'm not. I already voted. I voted 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, you already did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You should have done it already. Andrew, what are you doing? Go today.
No, because Lucia, I'm still kind of an old-fashioned traditionalist.
Yes.
I believe election day should be one day, election day, and that's when I'm going to vote.
Andrew's ancestors were on the Titanic saying, I believe the ship cannot sink, therefore I will not get into the raft.
I like it better to vote on their day, but under the circumstances, I went to vote.
Okay.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's there. You take advantage of it or you don't. I mean, you can vote on election day if you want.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, I'll vote again.
Well, no, you're not supposed to
don't do that.
Yeah.
Lucy,
all right, Lucia, I have 1 minute before I have to break, they're telling me.
Listen, Mark Cuban is a very brilliant guy, isn't he?
Well, he stepped in it. He's
sick. He's crazy, stupid. You could have never made it. He could never do what Trump has done in a billion years and kicks the woman and everybody.
To be fair, Mark Cuban is
another wacko.
Is a very successful man.
Yes,
to be fair,
yes,
he made the billions, of course, but he didn't come from billions. He made them. Yeah. So now tell him to keep making those. It's always good.
Yeah, I do think you're right. He made the
phenomenal.
He made the statement that almost was as bad as what he was saying that Trump does, right?
Right.
That was the problem with his statement.
You know, I think on Shark Tank, I'm going to go and present a device that removes feet from mouths.
That was there's no doubt that's what that was.
We got garbage from, everybody, you got garbage. If anybody in your family votes for Trump, we're all garbage. The only garbage is him. It's been garbage for 4 years, and everybody that voted for him, I don't know. I don't want to call them garbage. It's not right. But you know what? True. Garbage after garbage after garbage. So now we have this other guy, Myers.
You know, will you tell me if you would? We had a shop teacher who was Mr. Joe V. Mr. V, we would call him.
Yeah.
And he was very Italian, and he would yell out to us and say, that birdhouse you just made it's garbage. Is that Italian?
What is
garbage
in Italian?
No. It's not Italian at all. Italian is a gorgeous language. You just try to speak English, and it's not the way you say it.
Fair enough.
You either say garbage in English, or you say spazzatura in Italian.
Yes.
Period.
Spazzatura.
Yeah.
Yeah. In dialect, you can say munizza. So now, back to Kamala.
She is Monizza in your eyes. Yes.
In dialect, you know what Kamala means? Kamala. If you say to somebody, Sina Kamala, it means you're a pain. You keep repeating the same thing over and over and over.
Well, it makes sense.
Sure, that's also Italian. Yes.
And that's the way she is, this woman, repeating the stupidity over and over.
I am out of time, Lucia, but thank you so much.
And Mr. Myers, I don't know what he's going to do. Not much. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Next time, tell us how you really feel. Okay.
By the way, I hate to tell you, this is going to be a shock for you.
Tell me. Tell me.
Senator Joe Griffo is on next hour.
Is what?
He is on the radio next hour.
Yes, on the radio.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. On the radio. You radio now?
Yeah, on my radio station, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. He's the best, and he's going to win. Okay. There is no question about it. Look what he's done. Look, the other guy told me I was related to him. I'm not related to him.
Right, I know you're not related.
The more that I'm related to you, he's stupid. What is he talking about?
C'est la vie.
Tell him, go fly a kite and get a life.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Lucia.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
I wonder who she's voting for. Anne in Rome. I love her. Oh, boy. Okay, let's do... I asked Andrew to block out some time for us, and the time is here. Each week, we are now doing what we are calling Free Fuel Fridays.
Free Fuel Friday.
And during the week, we picked 4 contestants on the radio, and I'll announce those 4 contestants, and 4 contestants on the app. We have a device here that's kind of like a carnival game, and we have the names all at the bottom, and then we place a coin in. It'll bounce around and land on someone's name. Who will win the $500 gas card? We're going to find out coming up in a second. It comes from Cliff's Local Market and WIBX. Earlier this morning, Davey was chewing on something, and it sounded like he said $350. So that's what we're giving away, potentially, here this morning. $350 on the line for Hobica's free money question of the day. And Davey... with mouth wide open, what caller number are you looking for?
I said $300, not $350.
What caller number are you looking for, Davey?
1010.
Caller 10.
Or are you going to change up that caller too?
Listen. I can clearly see that and hear that you said 10.
Okay.
Unlike before, it sounded just like 350.
Okay.
Caller number 10 right now at 315-736-0186. We'll come right back and give this a shot. Caller number 10 is coming right up for Hobica's free money question of the day. The official coffee of this radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, and their coffee is Seattle's best, which they own Starbucks, or Starbucks owns them. It is a phenomenal coffee. And you know the beauty of it is? You go to Daylight Donuts and you do not have a long wait in the drive-thru. You're in, you're out, and you're on your way. They also have delicious, going to be cooler today, soups of the day, soup du jour. Chicken salad on the menu now, homemade, served on croissant or bagel. Avocado toast on the menu, delicious. And those snowflake rolls are just to die for your Thanksgiving dinner. Buy them by the dozen, but you have to order in advance and pick up before Thanksgiving. And you want a box of coffee? I believe it's like 10 cups or so of coffee that you could take into your workplace and be the hero today. Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford.
Hearst weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy semaglutide and Ozempic semaglutide are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs, but too few can access or afford them. Hers is changing that. At forhers.com/radio, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans tailored to you, like GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medications. Through Hers, treatment options can be prescribed 100% online. A medical provider on our platform can determine if a weight loss plan is right for you. And if prescribed, your personalized plan ships free directly to your door, all for as little as $79 a month with a 5-month subscription for oral medications and $199 a month with a 12-month subscription for GLP-1s. No hidden fees, no access fees, and no membership fees. Get started at forhers.com/radio. That's forhers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Jobs down. Crime up. 200,000 migrants reach New York. The headlines haven't changed. For 15 years, Kirsten Gillibrand's talked the talk, but she hasn't walked the walk. Gillibrand's failed to fix the economy, and she helped pass cashless bail and open the southern border.
I'm Mike Sapricone. I spent 20 years as a New York City cop, working the toughest beat in the country. Then I started a global security business right here in New York. I've traveled to every county and every corner of the Empire State, and I've heard the same thing. People tell me they haven't seen Kirsten Gillibrand for years, and I say you couldn't even pick her out of a lineup. I spent my life getting things done. It's time to finally get serious about fighting crime, creating jobs, and ending the migrant crisis. Let's get going. I'm Mike Sapricone, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Sapricone for Senate.
The instability of our economy after this election has many worried, and stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Countless Americans are turning to the safest store of wealth in human history to protect their retirement accounts. Physical precious metals. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold to protect their hard-earned savings. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to claim yours. Act before the election to take advantage of the current rollover policies, allowing for a quick and seamless transfer into physical gold or silver. Don't let the outcome of this election influence the fate of your financial future. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186. Or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, it's an exciting day. It's the Friday before Election Day. You have another week or 5 days. You have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So 5 days of political commercials. And none of them will be new. They're going to bring out the oldie goldies. I will say that most of our local commercials have been very positive, talking about the candidate. Not a lot of mean-spirited, negative, twisted facts.
But here's the thing. When you start to see you're seeing a lot of these political ads, especially in Congress, if you go to different districts, it's the same commercial.
Ad. It is.
It is the same commercial.
Yep, exact same. They just changed the names and the picture and a couple of pictures. You're right.
Which is disingenuous on both sides.
It's a template.
They're basically just saying,
it's a template.
Here are the issues we're running on.
Somebody's making a lot of money without having to do a lot of work.
Yep.
All right. On the line right now is Jeff in Frankfurt. Hello, Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning.
Our goal is to begin the month of November off with a big winner.
That'd be great.
On the line this morning from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, at 315-724-1600 for all your legal needs. On the line is $350.
Whoa.
I assume you are ready.
Cha-ching.
You are ready, and here is your question, okay?
All right.
Here it is. Andrew?
I'm ready.
This item sells for more than $100 on the Hooters menu. What is it? Ready, go.
Steak and lobster. I don't know.
Is it steak and lobster? It is wings. I believe it's wings and Dom Perignon.
Oh, Perignon.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have never guessed.
Dom, the champagne. All right. Well, listen. We take a shot. We're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card, and it's worth $25 at any of the Comets restaurants. Nexus, you can use it in the gift shop at the Odd, or Taylor and the Cook, 72 Tavern and Grill, Aquavino, Babes, all of those. Great gift cards. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up with it. But also, are you available? If you are available to, I have a pair of Comets tickets we would give you.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But it's for tomorrow night's game, if you can use them tomorrow night.
Yeah, that would be great.
Done deal. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You win for losing here. Keeler in the Morning Radio
The winningest loser in all of Winningville.
All right, congratulations. Davey's going to get your information, and we'll get those tickets hooked up for you for tomorrow night's Comets game, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Stand by. Comets playing tomorrow night at the Adirondack Bank Center. Davey, I'll need phone number and email and all that stuff, okay? All right, Andrew, are you ready for this? I just love this contest.
I am very excited.
I love the contest. Do you know who's in on the winnings? We'll read off the names in a second, but one of the contestants is Ann from Rome, who's in on this. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, she's one of our qualifiers?
She's one of our qualifiers. So
I see her there.
The way this contest works, and I'm going to show you what we're doing. There's the big board thing. And the way this works is every day we pick a winner that gets a $25 gift card and becomes a qualifier to win today's $500 gas giveaway. We also pick every day one qualifier off the app. So if you've not downloaded the WIBX 950 app, you are missing out because it is an absolute free opportunity for you to win this $500 in gas. And by the way, we're doing this contest right on through Thanksgiving through Cliff's Local Market. So, Andrew, how easy is it to download the app?
It's as easy as going to the Google Play or Apple Store, typing WIBX, downloading, bam.
You download it, you put it on your phone, and you can reach us easily. You get all sorts of extra little promotions and that sort of thing. And here you get a 1 in 8 chance to win $500 in gasoline if you're selected. And that's what we have here. Andrew, read off the names. These are the contestants who are competing here this morning for the $500 gas card from Cliff's Local Market.
On our Plinko style board is Pam, Doug, Dawn.
Is that Doug Joslin?
Yes.
I see there. Wow.
Neil, Melissa, Patricia, Jeremy, and Ann.
Ann being Ann from Rome?
That's correct.
All right. Now, Davey, pull that mic up so I can speak with you here. You are going to take this golden coin.
Beautiful.
See it right there. We're not hiding anything. Get it on camera if you can. For those. Yep, there it is. You're going to place this coin at the very top.
Can you see everything there?
Where do you?
So you're going to put it on the Cliffs logo there.
On the logo.
Oh, put it centered now.
Center it on the logo.
Center.
All right. He's going to let go of the coin. Now listen carefully here, as it will go down. It's going to land on one contestant. Who will it be? A 1 in 8 chance of winning. Here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the $500 gas card from Cliff's Local Market, week number 1 of Free Fuel Friday, is
Melissa Marsh.
Melissa Marsh, congratulations. You're the winner of the $500 gas card. So ultimately, oh, Lord. Ultimately, she'll get $525 in gas.
That is awesome.
Really,
what a
really
prize.
Cool.
We'll do it again next week.
We're going to do the same thing next week.
All right, David, get this board out of here, would you? Just distracted me.
Every week right up until Thanksgiving. So check all of that out, if you will. All right, coming up next hour, we are loaded up. We've decided to put everything into the 8 o'clock hour.
Yes.
I don't know why, but we are. That means, because everybody apparently had to do the 8 o'clock hour today, Scott in Kirkville will make his weekend picks. You know that for the last 3 weeks, he is what?
The last 2 weeks, he was 4-0, 6-0, and there's a big horse race this weekend, too.
That's cool. Senator Joe Griffo in studio. Also, Bob Smullen, Robert Smullen, assemblyman that goes down into Herkimer County and then down through the Mohawk Valley. We'll speak with him coming up as well. Robert Smullen, who is running unopposed this year for the assembly, and he will be in studio as well. Pretty cool. I do want to tell you about Ricky Z and Steve Pawnee Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. If you are looking for a brand new vehicle that is made by a company that makes racing cars for over 100 years, you want the Mazda from Steve Pawnee Mazda, the new 2024 CX-30 SE, $269 a month, or get 0% APR financing. Steve Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive, Yorkville.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8, 2025, if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at www.robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Display prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. This station does not recommend any specific investment.
Okay then, low miles, real cream puff. Sign here, drive off.
I'd like to read the fine print.
Don't bother, miss.
Mrs. You'd be surprised what you find in the fine print. Like that Prop 1 that's on the ballot.
Equal rights? We love them here at Ace Auto.
Only Prop 1 isn't about equal rights. It's about special rights for illegal immigrants.
Say what?
It's in the fine print. You can read it on the ballot. Under Prop 1, national origin gets constitutional protection.
Huh. That means...
I do my own research.
I noticed.
Well, critics say Prop 1 could block local efforts to deal with the migrant crisis and give illegals a constitutional right to taxpayer benefits. Prop 1 could even open the door for non-citizens to vote here.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm voting no on Prop 1. It's a clunker. Paid for by Vote No on Prop 1 Committee. Vote no on prop1.org.
Let's set the record straight with Marianne Buttonshot. 1. Despite attack ads against her, featuring childish cartoons with lies and inappropriate distortions, she has refused to get mean and dirty. 2. Despite what you might have been told, she does not rubber stamp any politician, including the governor and New York City elites. She works with members of both parties, and she's fought to bring over $100 million to the Mohawk Valley. And 3, she's absolutely against taxpayer dollars being handed over to politicians so they can run for office. Her opponent took over $120,000 in taxpayer funds, much of it used to distort Marianne's record. And how much did Marianne take? 0, because she believes it's wrong. Assemblywoman Buttonshot supports our businesses, first responders, and veterans, a career educator delivering to all schools, and she's a farmer who supports other farmers. Vote for Marianne. Paid for by friends of Marianne Buttonshot and not the taxpayers of New York State.
The instability of our economy after this election has many worried, and stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Countless Americans are turning to the safest store of wealth in human history to protect their retirement accounts. Physical precious metals. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold to protect their hard-earned savings. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to claim yours. Act before the election to take advantage of the current rollover policies, allowing for a quick and seamless transfer into physical gold or silver. Don't let the outcome of this election influence the fate of your financial future. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Just 4 days to go. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
If elected, Donald Trump on day one would walk into that office with an enemies list.
Vice President Harris in Las Vegas after a rally in Reno.
At the top of my list is bringing down the cost of your living. That will be my focus every single day as president.
If she gets 4 more years, Kamala Harris will pick your pockets bare. We will not have a country. Everyone will flee. Our companies are going to flee.
Former President Trump also in Nevada at a rally in Henderson, again critical of President Biden, calling his supporters garbage.
How stupid is a man to say that? But she believes it too. I'd love to hear that conversation now.
And there's more controversy about that Biden garbage comment.
The White House stenographers come with the House. They are not political. Some of them have been there since Trump and will be there after Biden. And they are now as mad as you will ever hear a stenographer on the record that White House officials working for President Biden tried to change the meaning of their transcript. So it sounded like the president on that Zoom with Voto Latino was just criticizing a comedian instead of all Trump supporters.
Fox's Peter Ducey, that edit put an apostrophe after the R in supporters to try to make it look singular and only referring to that comedian at the Trump Sunday rally calling Puerto Rico garbage. There'll be Trump and Harris rallies tonight in Wisconsin, another toss-up state. Nearly 64 million Americans have already voted early. A real scare. During a Halloween celebration in Orlando, Florida after midnight, someone started shooting in the streets, sending people running, causing chaos downtown.
Certain clubs were kicking people out. Certain clubs were locking everyone in.
2 people were shot dead, 6 others wounded. A suspect was arrested, a 17-year-old. The number of deaths in Spain after massive flash flooding this week has just been upped to 200 plus, with more people still missing. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good, and it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Well, fresh off inserting that garbage controversy into the campaign that he's no longer part of, President Biden will today go to a swing state, key to who wins the election.
At a union hall in Philadelphia, President Biden will announce more than 1 million union pensions have been saved through a provision in the American Rescue Plan, a pandemic stimulus package. President Biden has called himself the most pro-union president in history, and the administration says actions taken during his term have expanded workplace safety and made it easier to organize and collectively bargain. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Well, speaking of unions, striking Boeing workers plan to vote Monday on a new contract offer with a bigger pay raise, 38% over 4 years, with a bigger bonus being offered and a payment to their 401k plans. But it does not include a pension plan that Boeing workers demand. Their 7-week strike has halted some airplane production. It's November 1st, open enrollment time for Obamacare health plans.
Vice President Kamala Harris has vowed to maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act, which is used by millions of Americans. She and fellow Democrats say former President Trump has made dozens of attempts to get rid of it, which the GOP presidential nominee denies. The former president has said he has concepts of a plan he says would be better. Open enrollment for the coverage ends on January 15th, but to have coverage in the new year, folks must enroll by December 15th. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
We'll get the last big economic report before the election this hour, expected to show a hiring slowdown last month. And ahead of that on Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after a big sell-off. On Thursday Night Football, the Jets fly high.
4-man rush. Rodgers to the end zone. And Wilson, can he one-handed and stay in bounds?
Well, replay review says he did stay in bounds. One of 2 Garrett Wilson TD catches as New York snaps a 5-game losing streak. The Jets beat the Houston Texans on Amazon Prime Video 21-13. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Dermenio. Right now, we have clear skies, 61 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts. Multiple people are recovering from injuries sustained in a Dryden accident. It happened late Wednesday evening, and one vehicle went up in flames. Medics airlifted a victim to the hospital while another transported by ambulance. Moments ahead of the crash are still being investigated. Firefighters responded to a house fire in the town of Columbia Thursday afternoon. Calls for a fire on Elizabethtown Road came in around 4:30 p.m., not far from the Cedarville Fire Department. Officials say the house was a rental and no one has lived there since July. Fire officials believe the fire started in the first floor living room. Multiple companies were called in to battle the fire because there were no hydrants in the area. Additional fire departments were called in from Bridgewater, Clayville, West Winfield, and German Flats. The home is not a total loss, and fire investigators will be back on scene Friday, as the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Utica police are releasing more details on an incident regarding multiple people being hit by a vehicle. Police say on Wednesday at about 3:15 p.m., police and fire units were dispatched to the 400 block of Blandina regarding reports of an individual operating a motor vehicle, striking multiple parties during an altercation. Police say they arrived to find many people on scene who were suffering various injuries as a result of being struck by the car. It was learned a series of arguments had taken place throughout the day, culminating in a large fight on the 400 block of Blandina. As the fight was occurring, a 17-year-old female intentionally drove her vehicle directly into the crowd, striking multiple people. Throughout the investigation, it was determined 4 people were struck. Thankfully, their injuries, while serious, were not life-threatening. The investigation is ongoing, but the 17-year-old female has preliminarily been charged with attempted assault in the first degree, 2 counts, 2 counts of assault in the second degree, attempted assault in the second degree, reckless endangerment in the first, and criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth. And the Avengers are assembling again, this time to endorse Kamala Harris for president. On Thursday, multiple actors from the Marvel films joined a group video call to support Harris, including Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, and more. Along with brainstorming catchphrases for Harris, they urged people to get out and vote, saying issues like women's reproductive rights, public education, healthcare, and Social Security are all on the line this election. So comic book characters, the latest to endorse Kamala. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, news time 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by The Big Show, Jimmy Fallon, coming to the Rome Capitol Theater December 6th. Tickets are available now.
Here's the latest forecast from the WIBX Weather Center. Temperatures will trend cooler to start off November today. A front also will produce some scattered showers at times. After a mild start to the day, temperatures will drop to the low to mid-50s later this afternoon with some of the wind gusts from the west as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour. There still may be a few scattered showers tonight, otherwise cloudy with a low dropping to 39. A few breaks in the clouds tomorrow with a high of 50. A little bit warmer Sunday to wrap up the weekend with sunshine and a high near 54. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
61 degrees under clear skies. It is 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Jets snapped their 5-game losing streak after defeating a Super Bowl contender. Gang Green defeated the Houston Texans with a 21-13 victory on Thursday Night Football at MetLife Stadium. After being shut out in the first half of the game, Aaron Rodgers threw 3 touchdown passes to lead his team to the win. Garrett Wilson caught 9 passes for 90 yards and a pair of touchdowns. The Jets are third now in the AFC East at 3-6. The Houston Texans now lead the AFC South at 6-3. The NASCAR Cup Series Round of 8 playoff stage concludes this weekend. The field battles from Martinsville Speedway for the Xfinity 500 on Sunday. Tyler Reddick is coming off a win in the middle leg of the round after a victory in the Straight Talk Wireless 400 from Homestead Miami Speedway last weekend. The driver of the number 45 car leads the playoff standings, while Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, and William Byron round out the top 4. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott are on the bubble. 4 drivers will be eliminated after the race. 3-time Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes is hoping to bring the WNBA to the heart of America. The Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback said he sees an effort to bring a WNBA franchise to the city as the next logical step for the ownership group for the NWSL's Kansas City Current. The city has the infrastructure for a professional basketball team since the T-Mobile Center was built back in 2007 to try to entice an NBA or NHL club to town. Mahomes also owns a piece of the Kansas City Royals and Sporting Kansas City. There's a bunch of great NFL games on tap for you this weekend. The Giants will play, I don't know about this being a great game, but the Giants will look to defeat at home, upset, if I can say that, the Washington Commanders, who lead that division. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, 1 o'clock. It's a division matchup, and we do have some picks. A couple big games that we have to get to.
Do we still have to do some picks?
Yes.
I don't see that Richard is saying the Bills will lose to the Dolphins. I just don't see it. He is saying
that.
I don't see it.
He's claiming that.
And that's a game in Buffalo this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I may actually agree with Richard on the Buccaneers-Chiefs game. He thinks that might be an upset.
Well, at some point, the Chiefs are going to lose. They've been teetering on losing for quite some time.
They haven't had many great games.
I'm not sure this is the week to do it. So, all right, coming up, Senator Joe Griffo. We'll get to that. Scott is going to make his picks for the weekend. We'll get to that. It's a Friday morning, the kickoff of November. Final weekend before the election. Any other things I can talk about? Oh, the unofficial kickoff of Christmas music.
Happy holiday!
Everywhere you turn on the radio, you're going to hear Christmas music, except for here. We do not play any Christmas music until the day after. We're a little different like that. Maybe the day before. Maybe a few days early. Maybe is the key. Coming right back here. Hold tight.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James Myers.
It's not stopping. The lies and mudslinging just keep coming.
It's time to tune out the negativity.
We're educators who know John Mannion. Trust him.
This guy gets it.
He spent 25 years in the classroom, inspiring students for a generation.
He took that spirit to the state senate.
Fighting for us. Delivering record education funding.
50,000 jobs right here with the Micron Project. Record middle-class tax cuts.
All while protecting our freedoms.
In Congress, he'll lower costs for our families, protect Social Security and Medicare, and stand up to extremists.
So the next time you see some angry ads and grainy video, tune them out.
Take it from real educators. John Mannion will have our back. He always has.
Vote John Mannion by November 5th. Common ground over chaos.
Paid for by NY Common Ground, nycommonground.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NY Common Ground is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The instability of our economy after this election has many worried, and stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Countless Americans are turning to the safest store of wealth in human history to protect their retirement accounts. Physical precious metals. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold to protect their hard-earned savings. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to claim yours. Act before the election to take advantage of the current rollover policies, allowing for a quick and seamless transfer into physical gold or silver. Don't let the outcome of this election influence the fate of your financial future. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
At Mattress Express, we deliver quickly. If you've waited too long for your mattress to be delivered elsewhere, simply bring your receipt in. We will deliver the same or comparable mattress, and we will meet or beat the price and get it to you quickly. Come see us today.
Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy semaglutide and Ozempic semaglutide are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs, but too few can access or afford them. Hers is changing that. At forhers.com/radio, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans tailored to you, like GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medications. Through Hers, treatment options can be prescribed 100% online. A medical provider on our platform can determine if a weight loss plan is right for you. And if prescribed, your personalized plan ships free directly to your door, all for as little as $79 a month with a 5-month subscription for oral medications and $199 a month with a 12-month subscription for GLP-1s. No hidden fees, no access fees, and no membership fees. Get started at forhers.com/radio. That's forhers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
When it comes to saving our country, we
We need former President Donald Trump, and keeping Republican control of Congress means re-electing Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and Congressman Brandon Williams. When it comes to saving our state, re-electing Senator Joe Griffo and Assemblyman Brian Miller, as well as electing Republican conservative Christine Esposito to the 119th Assembly District is imperative. Let's send a message to Governor Hochul. We want change. Paid for by Oneida County Republican Committee.
Shop with confidence at Mattress Express with our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days of purchase, bring it to our attention. We simply refund the difference. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Dun, dun, da, 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 da. Today is Friday, and we have to make some quick picks. We're going to get to that coming up in a second. Say hello to Senator Joe Griffo.
Good morning.
Hello, Senator Joe Griffo.
You forgot to say it's also No Shave November.
I was going to get to that.
Still
No,
every
right?
day for me.
Yeah,
No Shave November. If you're Italian, it's Mo Shave November, because you got to do like 3 times a day usually. Or Lebanese. I swear to God, Hobaika, he shaves more than he eats, because you need those. Sorry.
How much of his money are you giving away?
Well, we had $350 on the line today,
All right.
and we didn't end up giving it away. Let me throw the question. You might know this. As a senator who needs to know everything.
Oh, boy.
This item on the Hooters menu sells for more than $100. What is it?
Well, they do have champagne there, so it's probably Dom Perignon.
Boom.
Right?
That's the answer. He knew the answer. That's it.
What's it called? Hey, Colonel.
It's Dom. That is the answer.
Dom Perignon.
That would have been worth $350 for you. All right. Sit tight. I'm going to bring in Scott in Kirkville. Your team is the Raiders, right?
Yeah, I had a rough weekend with you were talking about how the Chiefs should have gone down. That might have been the game. It played close. We were home and played them close to the end, but then they pulled it out.
He always seems to.
You do always play them tough, though.
On the line right now is Scott in Kirkville. He, in the last 3 weeks, has made every one of his picks has won. It's unbelievable,
and that's no joke.
He's on a roll. We're gonna actually start
I'm not joking.
Taping a movie called Moneyball with him. Here he is. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I tell you, if you listen to my picks, you might have been able to pay for a wedding reception already. So
yeah. Oh, Andrew, you would be able to pay for your wedding. Yeah, Andrew is not he's not a bettor. He doesn't bet.
Yeah, well, he's smart probably.
Where will you be this weekend in terms of your betting work?
Definitely, the Breeders' Cup is the biggest horse race, and if you're a horse player, it's like Christmas. I'm going to be up at Vernon Downs. 5 races today, 9 races tomorrow, all $1 million races. It's the world that comes. They're actually at Del Mar. All the best horses in the world come for 14 races, and the big race is the $7 million race, and a lot of money in the pools. So because it's a world pool, because it's the whole world betting on it. So it's a great time.
What do you suggest people do? I never understand any of what you say to do. I'm always lost. It's terrible.
By the way, Andrew, I owe you an apology.
Okay.
I thought you were a little nuts flying into a hurricane, but I heard the choices: you're flying into a hurricane or going to a Michael Bolton concert. So I would be flying into a hurricane too.
That's the most random reference I've ever.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the demographics of the Michael Bolton concerts.
Okay.
80% William and 20% guys. I think if they cave in, they're going to get lucky that night.
All right. Well, now I get it. Now I completely get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. What do you suggest for those trying to make money with a horse race this weekend?
Well, I narrowed down to 3 races because I could 14 that you can make.
Sure.
Like I said, the 5th race, there's a horse called Cogburn. It's number 9, The fastest one. It's a 5 furlong on the turf. He ran the fastest. He broke a world record, 59 seconds. He's going to be there. So you can either play him across the board. What I did was I took the 9 and I boxed it with the 12, 2, 5, and 1. If I'm wrong, I don't think it's going to be worse than second. So take the 9. Our Bill Keeler money maker.
Okay.
Peter Ann is in the 6th race. She's number 2. She's the one that took on the boys in the Travers, and we had the dead cold 8-1 exacta for $56 on the Bill Keeler's Express. We won on that.
Okay.
So just put that horse on top. If you want to put him across the board, she should win this thing. But if you want to maybe dabble in the exacta, put the 2 on top with the 1694 in the second place.
Okay.
I think that's probably the best bet of the 14 races, what I've seen so far.
All right.
She's amazing, and she won over $2 million and only cost the owners $40,000 when they bought the horse.
Wow, that's a big that's a big deal. All right, any others? Go ahead.
No, the tricky part is the 7th and the 8th race. I'm playing doubles in the 7th race. I'm betting 11, 4, and 3. And then the 8th race is a $7 million race. And this is why it's tricky, because the European horses are better than the American horses. And that's the problem, because the favorite has never run on the dirt.
Oh, okay.
It's called the City of Troy. So, and then one of our favorite horses, Forever Young, the Japanese horse, that Sierra Leone, and I remember in the Derby they got into the little match race.
Yeah.
That horse drew the worst post position, the 1. If he drew on the outside, I would love the horse. But so I'm doing the 7th race. I'm playing 11, 4, 3. That's this is a double. In the 8th race, I'm playing the 1, 3, 2, 9, 11, 12, and 14. And with the monies in the pools, you can bet it for $1. It costs you $21 or something like that. I think that's the best way to play that, because anybody can win the $7 million race. It's wide open.
How do you do that? So it's anybody to win? All of those horses to win?
Well, yeah, it's just like anything else. If you go, that's why I'm playing a double, because the 7th race I think is more predictable.
Yeah.
I'm betting basically all European horses in the 7th race. If you're going to bet on the turf, look for Adrian O'Brien, Charles Appleby, or Goslin as trainers. And if you see the owners, Colmore, Juddmonte, or Godolphin, it's a good bet. The Europeans, there's over 90 horses brought in, 19 Japanese horses, by the way. So, and it's hard to find information on these horses because the program doesn't show any information.
I see.
You're kind of guessing.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Doing the information now for football now.
Now, by the way, for those wondering, the 5th race and the 6th race are today.
No, they're all tomorrow.
Oh, it's all tomorrow. Okay.
There's 5 races today. They're all juvenile.
Yeah, okay.
The meat and potatoes, and it's at Del Mar, so these races start a little later.
Okay.
First race tomorrow starts at 3 o'clock.
All right.
The 6th race is 4:21, and the 7th race is at, I believe, at 5 o'clock, and then the 8th race is at 5:40.
Okay. All right, and then football, give us a couple quick heaps, and then we'll send you off to make your money this weekend.
All right. One of the things we've done is, and how we've made money is the Vegas has underestimated teams, and they haven't come up to the marketing. Like, for example, Indiana in football, 8-0 against the spread, 8-0 against team total. They're playing Michigan State Kathy's team. Michigan State on the road. I like their over 27 points, their total. I like them. I also like Navy's over 30 point total, because they're scoring now in pro ball. We've been eating up with Detroit Lions. That was our Bill Rafferty sent it in last week. Their over/under is only 26 on the road against Green Bay, like them. Your Bills should be able to score at will against the Dolphins. Their team total is only 25, and Minnesota's only 23. So those 3 right there, just bet the team totals of those 5 games, and you should
right.
I think win 3 out of 2.
All right, good stuff. So you like the over on all of them?
Real quickly. I had 2 things I was hoping that you're supporting this. get rid of the catalytic converter, high premium. It isn't part of it should be a part of the inspection, but when you find out it is, it cost me over $2,000.
Yeah, it is expensive,
because
yeah.
it's high premium, because we're competing with California. I can get the same thing in Pennsylvania for $300.
Wow.
And this cashless thing is getting out of hand where I don't understand that the city of New York allows you have to at least honor cash, and now we're getting places like Saratoga, the Dome in Syracuse, going to a baseball game, or even going to the fair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about cashless bail. We're talking about cashless spending.
As far as a law that says that you have to accept cash. I mean, it's getting crazy. We're going places where they don't accept credit cards. It's the elderly don't even maybe have a credit card.
Well, they don't. They only accept credit cards, right? Yeah. And the Dome is one of those. You can't go to the Dome and use cash.
Saratoga.
I'll bet you though, if you try to tip one of those people in the suite, they'll take it. Yeah, they will.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
all
the
right.
other one's a catalytic converter. I don't understand why we have to get the high premium, because that's what California does.
What do we know about Senator Griffo about the catalytic converter? You don't know anything about
what he's
it.
talking about.
Yeah.
So.
We don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
When I go to get the catalytic converter,
catalytic.
I can't order a lower amount of a Cadillac, because according to the state of New York, I got to have the high premium. Cost me $2,000, where if I was in Pennsylvania, they allow a lower standard of Cadillac converter. I can get it for $300.
Thank God you're winning money at the betting places.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm just saying that it's also part of the inspection because it's on the computer.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the safety of the car.
Right.
So it's not just electric vehicles. Now it's catalytic converters. You gotta get.
All right. Interesting stuff there, Scott. Thank you, man.
All right.
And
thanks,
you
guys.
have a winning weekend once again. I can't wait to hear that your streak is continuing.
I hope so, too. And you guys are more welcome. Come up to Vernon Downs and have some fun with the horses.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a good one. Boom. And he is on a roll. I got a break. And then Senator Joe Griffo coming in, Robert Assemblyman from more down on the eastern part of the Mohawk Valley, but covering all of Herkimer County coming up.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Lights, camera, music. Sunday, November 10th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents Guitars Along the Mohawk. The afternoon concert begins at 1. A lineup of your favorite local acoustic musicians will perform their original songs for a television production. Guitars Along the Mohawk, Sunday, November 10th at the Rome Capitol Theater. Complete details on the Guitars Along the Mohawk Facebook page and online at RomeCapital.com.
Let's set the record straight with Marianne Buttonshot. 1. Despite attack ads against her, featuring childish cartoons with lies and inappropriate distortions, she has refused to get mean and dirty. 2. Despite what you might have been told, she does not rubber stamp any politician, including the governor and New York City elites. She works with members of both parties, and she's fought to bring over $100 million to the Mohawk Valley. And 3, she's absolutely against taxpayer dollars being handed over to politicians so they can run for office. Her opponent took over $120,000 in taxpayer funds, much of it used to distort Marianne's record. And how much did Marianne take? 0, because she believes it's wrong. Assemblywoman Buttonshot supports our businesses, first responders, and veterans, a career educator delivering to all schools, and she's a farmer who supports other farmers. Vote for Marianne. Paid for by friends of Marianne Buttonshot and not the taxpayers of New York State.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8, 2025, if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at www.robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Display prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. This station does not recommend any specific investment.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Portions of today's program, Andrew, brought to you by the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. It's the area's only premier osteopathic medical clinic. And two osteopaths, formerly of the MVHS ER, is Dr. Shemaleski and Dr. Zielinski, and both of them really, I got to tell you, I see a chiropractor, but I also see Dr. Zielinski once a month, and what happens, it's a manipulation where he does
I've experienced
everything.
This.
It's like almost an hour.
Yeah, it's like a combo of a adjustment chiropractically and
but it gets your
massage.
circulatory system flowing. It gets everything. I mean, it's just, I feel so much better because of it. And that's at the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. They are accepting new patients. Call today at 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. All right, Andrew, you have what? Picks. You want to get those out of the way?
Yeah, so let's do those quickly. You've already picked the Texans and Lions and Chiefs. I picked Houston,
and I'm staying with those picks. I'm good with those.
I am going to, even though I don't want to, because I am a Packers fan. I'm going to pick the Lions because usually when I pick, I'm wrong, and if they win, I'll have a point. If they lose, I'll still be happy.
Okay, Pete Rose.
And then I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Okay,
so I'm gonna go Lions Bucks. Davey?
At some point, the Chiefs are going to lose. I want them to keep winning, so it's the Bills that beat them.
Davey, Bucks, or you have the Lions, Packers, Bucks, Chiefs.
Lions and Chiefs are my picks.
We're doing some illegal gambling here. So,
all right. Do you have? And Wayne went with the Lions and Chiefs as well. Jake and Larry, do you have their picks?
Yes, I do. Green Bay for Jake, Chiefs for Jake, Lions for Larry, Chiefs for Larry.
Okay.
All right. I'm hoping Lions and Chiefs for Larry.
All right, good stuff.
So I'm the outlier in the Bucks-Chiefs game, and
the winner of this
Jake
thing
is
gets
the
$200. It's not really gambling because we put the money up.
Actually, Habaika put the money up.
Habaika put the money up. Yeah. And I'm in dead last place. I like to gamble. If you're going to gamble, you got to gamble. You got to go out there with a pick that's like I
know. Maybe I should pick my team.
I picked Syracuse to win the other night.
I don't want to jinx them.
That was not a gamble. That was stupidity.
Yes.
Holy cow, that was terrible. All right, in studio right now is Senator Joe Griffo and Assemblyman Robert Smullen. Gentlemen, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
One is opposed. One is not opposed. Robert Smullen, you are not opposed.
That's right. I'm very fortunate. My district, Fulton, Herkimer, Hamilton, part of Montgomery, part of Oneida County.
They love you.
I'm doing great. I really appreciate this support in my district.
One of the things, though, is, and I'm not challenging that they love you. I'm sure they do. However, this is and Joe, you can talk about this match thing where in some cases people are getting over $300,000 in public money to run their campaign. You never really had a lot of challenges that happened in the assembly, but right now the problem is it's very complicated. So there are cases where people tried to get in and they screwed it up and then didn't get any money, so they didn't run. You, Joe, do have an opponent.
Yes, and we're participating. I don't like the concept, but again, when you've got to make sure you level the playing field so that we're out there. And I think the Assemblyman's right. Also, a colonel in the Marines retired, so we appreciate and admire his service and leadership to our nation, and he continues to do that out at the state level. And that's one of the characterizations, I think, like our opposition has said too, well, you've never had opposition. That's not true. We've had a lot of opposition. In a recent time, we have not. But I hope that's a reflection, like Assemblyman Smullen, that he's doing the job. And that people like and respect him. And I think we had that similar experience. It wasn't, people could have and would have if they felt that they were dissatisfied. So I think that's why we didn't see that. And what we're seeing now is individuals who could take advantage of that. You know, like the individual running against me, I think was in search of a title more than doing a job, because initially he was going to run for the Assembly, then is now running for the Senate. That makes you question, like, well, what are you doing and why are you doing it?
So, Joe, Lance and Lee will oftentimes say you had no opponent, no one challenging you, but you'd always be able to come on this show and get in a fight with me. And to me, that's
the challenge.
That's good stuff. Like, I'm not for I respect what you're doing with the daylight saving time. But I'm good with it. For me, let's keep it that way.
He likes living in darkness. 8 months
the
of
left
the year.
lane. He wants to, like, you know. So
okay. I opposed that originally, and I do not anymore. I think you needed that to be top priority.
And you know what?
I don't want any changes to the right lane, left lane, but I want the side of the road made wider so I can go around all of them.
Let's get a third lane on the thruway.
But that goes to the same situation again, too, right? That you've got to be able, and the Assemblyman knows this, you've got to be able to do a lot of things at the same time. Are those priority issues? No, yes. I understand the priorities are the cost of living in this state, keeping people safe in this state, healthcare and education. We get that. But if you can't do a lot of things at the same time, then that's not good. And just in our opposition, quit a job just to run full time. And I mean, you've got to be able to balance a lot if you're doing this. So if you can't do, balance a job and campaigning and everything, what are you going to be able to do in trying to serve the people?
One of the things he says is that you vote no all the time. You're always voting no. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's because there's some bad policy that is being proposed. That's how I would respond to that.
I vote no all the time because there are terrible policies that are in Albany.
and what his point was, and he's a little confused in some of these things, he's calling them amendments, but they're budget bills. There's about 10 budget bills. And he's saying, I have voted for and against budgets, and I base it on the policy, on the process, and the process is becoming very, it's leaving so many people out now. It was never good, but it's gotten worse. You have one-party control, and under one-party control, what you've seen is an exodus from this state that is unprecedented. Over 900,000 people just in the last 4 years. Since they have been in the majority he wants to join my opponent and says that he will have a seat at the table. The only place he'll be in the waiting room is where he'll be seated, because as the Assemblyman knows, with the leadership there, they're going to tell and direct where their conference is going. And
there's an elite group.
Yeah, the leaders
that tells everybody else what to do.
Well, basically,
they're making the decisions.
And the point is, they always would say in the Democrat majority conference, now we'll bring more upstaters and it'll change. There's a lot more upstaters there because they have super majorities, and nothing has changed. We have cashless bail now. You know, when you look at the energy policies that they have implemented right now, no gas stoves. I mean, so the point is, under these majorities, they've spent in the last 5 years in just state funds alone, almost $40 billion, a 39% increase. We were keeping that under 2% when it was divided government annually. And now it's almost 8% a year. This is unsustainable spending and bad priorities. So my opponent says we need change. He is so right. We need to change the people in charge, the people that he wants to join.
He also claims your tenure has been, quote unquote, status quo. And that's what he's hearing from people. Can you respond to that?
I think he's talking to himself in the mirror, because if you talk to people, you know how available and accessible we've been. And if you look at we have a record of results as opposed to rhetoric. We have proven performance as opposed to promises. And if you look over the years, we have passed a lot of legislation that have a local impact and a statewide impact. Mm-hmm. We have delivered over $1 billion in financial resources to this region. We have helped to working with local officials to position this community to take advantage of emerging economic opportunities in high tech and manufacturing. So when you look at like drones or what we're doing with Wolfspeed and Danfoss, so when you look at what we're doing, this is all a lot of effort and work. and we've handled thousands of constituent problems along with that, which is equally as important.
Yeah.
So I think that rings hollow. I would classify and characterize my opponent right now as a political chameleon. Because if you hear him now, imitation is the greatest source of flattery. He's taking a lot of the positions we have. All of a sudden now, even though he's taken endorsements from organizations that wanted to fund the police and everything, now he's a supporter of the police and tries to turn it around by saying we don't support police. Well, we have vied and screened before a number of these organizations. I have the New York State Troopers PBA endorsement. I have the Utica PBA endorsement. I have the Rome PBA endorsement. I have the New York State PBA endorsement. I have all of organized labor essentially has endorsed me, the Central New York Labor Council, the AFL-CIO, public unions like PEF, the Public Employees Federation, Civil Service Employees Association, the teachers. If people criticize you on education, NYSUT has endorsed me. I have the Business Council endorsing me. So when you look at this, if I weren't doing the job, and if I was in the minority and didn't have any impact, then why would these organizations come to me? That's because, in my opinion, it's a reflection of the work we've done and the belief that we can continue and are capable of getting the job done.
I want to bring in Mr. Smullen. Do you want to add to any of that? And then your real campaign has been getting the vote out, making sure people get out and vote.
That's right. Yeah, two things. First of all, Senator Joe Griffo is the best partner in the New York State Senate that an assembly person like myself representing the Mohawk Valley could possibly have. We share a lot of bills together. We share a lot of common connections to take our voice and our values to Albany each and every legislative session. Nobody is more sensitive to what the senator just said, whether it's labor unions, whether it's veterans, whether it's bringing advanced manufacturing to the Mohawk Valley. When you believe in something, you believe in it. And Joe Griffo is somebody that absolutely positively believes in all of those things. Nobody is more effective in Albany than Joe Griffo on behalf of the people of the Mohawk Valley.
And you're seeing this this high tech because you stretch all the way down to the eastern part of the state. So this is where this is all beginning, and it's going right down all the way through Micron. And
it's truly amazing. From Saratoga, where the big facility is in Saratoga, to Syracuse, this whole Mohawk Valley area is going to be one of the leading manufacturers for chip technology in the United States. And it's by design. It's a national security issue. We're bringing it here. And
the water is a big thing, too.
Well, that's it. So we have all of the necessary ingredients. We have a highly educated workforce. We have a history, a legacy of manufacturing in the Mohawk Valley. We have all the things, the ingredients put together, and they're coming, and it's going to keep coming for the next 10 years. And a lot of that has to do with Joe Griffo's advocacy at the New York State level, but also his ability to advocate at the national, at the federal level to bring this stuff in. And it's really important stuff for our valley.
One of the things
and we've worked together in a bipartisan fashion. In fact, if you remember, maybe on this show, we developed the Mohawk Valley 9.
Yes.
It was something a concept I had, and we've implemented. So that's another criticism that we're just voting partisan, and that's ridiculous.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. It has become, it's really an upstate coalition that looks at the needs of upstate New York, no matter what your party.
Absolutely. And both branches, both houses.
Is a great example of what government is supposed to accomplish.
Absolutely.
So that's a positive that we could say on both sides. Stand by. I have to break because he's looking at me funny over there. This one over here.
I'm the break monster.
Quick break, and I want to tell you, let me just say New York Sash. We just recently had windows put in from New York Sash, the best. And we're coming up on winter time. You're going to be dealing with the colder weather. You will see an improvement in your energy bill because of these New York Sash windows. And as these prices go up, it kind of levels things out when you have windows that are insulating and really protect your home. Right now, there's a sale, and it's the final couple of days of their bathroom sale at New York Sash. 20% off a brand new bathroom. It's done in 2 days, and it's beautiful when it's done. You can see it online at NewYorkSash.com. Call them today, 624-7344, and it is New York Sash on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days, or choose cash back. on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. Stop into Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Offer ends soon.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hi, everyone. If you or someone you know were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, listen up, because you could be entitled to significant compensation. We have legal professionals standing by right now to take your call, and they'll tell you if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call 800-570-0200. That's 800-570-0200. Call now and find out how much money you could potentially get.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Assemblyman Brian Miller thanks those people of the 122nd Assembly District who took the time to share their concerns during the campaign. With voting underway and the polls open on Election Day from 6 a.m. till 9, Brian has heard a lot of stories that people will be taking with them into the voting booth. Inflation and public safety are among the most talked about, but there's so much more, like education and healthcare, veterans and farmers. Brian Miller continues to work to help create opportunity for young people. That includes taking advantage of the new high-tech industry spreading across the Mohawk Valley. And Brian knows the importance of protecting our upstate values, which includes preserving our Second Amendment rights. And Brian takes his service to the community seriously. If you have a problem with state government or services, call Brian at his office in Albany or here locally. He's always ready to help. And when you vote this week, please vote for Brian Miller. He's working for all of us. Paid for by Brian Miller for Assembly.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I will say if you're looking for a wonderful lunch, heading into the weekend, and Davey, I think, is already prepped and ready to go, right, for this weekend?
He's excited.
Yeah, I'm going to hit there today.
Where are you going today, Davey?
Tony's of Washington Mills, Bill.
Tony's in Washington Mills, 3899 Oneida Street in technically New Hartford, but it's Washington Mills. Google doesn't see it that way, but it is. But it's the largest. It's an awesome buffet. Everything from pastas and salads, greens, sausage and peppers, pork tenderloin, Virginia ham. You could use it for dinner, takeout, or have a wonderful buffet lunch at Tony's. Desserts and salads and soups, $15.95 a person, $9.99 for kids, 5 to 10, and kids under 5 are free. Tony's will also deliver right to your workplace, 315-737-9172. Make today the day you're doing what Davey does. Go to Tony's Pizzeria's buffet, and it's a wonderful buffet. Hold on, Joe.
Cristiano.
We got John now.
Mr. Cristiano, we honored the founder. Yes. I mean, Frank does great work, but we honored his father.
His
Antonio.
Story is amazing.
He's amazing.
Yeah. You know, even today, I don't know how old Mr. Cristiano is, but you'll see him up on a roof. I mean, he's one of the hardest working people you'll ever meet. And that all self-made. Right. He came here with nothing and created this. It's a really great story. Can I bring in somebody who wants to plug something just quickly?
Well, yes, I'm very excited, though, also, I just have to mention, shamelessly, Friday, today is the day I'm getting that GoNet speed internet. I am.
Do you have
very
that down your way yet?
I wish we did. That's always a big problem with broadband in our district.
It's driving me nuts. I'm going to tell you. We, without getting into everything, there was a naked guy trying to break into our house. Okay. I immediately yelled out,
for the internet?
Cashless bail, right?
Where is Griffo?
For the internet? Was he coming for the internet?
He might have been. But anyway, a whole new security system put in because of it. And, you know, it forced us to spend money. But I am spending all of my time trying to figure out the mesh versus not using a mesh, but it's all based on Spectrum cable high-speed internet, which varies all day long. Depending on the number of people in your neighborhood using it, you're up and down. I pay for a gigabyte service. If I ever get over 550 megabytes per second, I'm lucky.
What are you paying for that gig?
I don't want to say because I'm embarrassed. But I have to have it.
Because that's what I'm getting?
But I have to have it because of the work that I do. And Griffo wanted 7 commercials this year. So all of them had to be uploaded to $120 for just internet per month.
$70 a month, no fees,
for a gigabyte,
no taxes, all the equipment included, and installation included.
It is steady with fiber, as you know. It's steady
one
up.
line for one house.
It's steady down, and you're always getting solid internet. We need more of that.
We sure do.
Yeah.
You know, that is a major area in upstate New York as far as what I call rural equity. One of the big areas is broadband. That we have areas of our communities that still do not have good broadband.
Incredible. Yeah.
Where there's only one provider, and that's not good economics.
It's not. It doesn't work. Although there are other providers. They don't work. I mean, you can buy satellite. It's expensive and it's slower than molasses because you can't afford anything that's fast. But this new, what is it called again?
GoNet Speed.
They're installing in Whitesboro. They've installed. You're getting it today.
I'm getting it today. The installation happens today.
In the city of Utica, I saw them yesterday. I can't wait for them to get near me because I'm going to get the 2 gigabyte service. And I'll be like...
The 2 gig is, I think, still less than $100.
2 gig is $99. Yeah. Can you believe that? I'm
I can't wait for the service,
but
but I can't wait to call Spectrum and finally say, I don't need you. I don't need your stupid streaming box that you're trying to offer me a deal on. Come get rid, or I'm going to drop it all off and sayonara. See you later. Bye.
Okay. You're going to do that today? You're going to call him up?
I'm going to do everything today.
Be rude to him so you end up on one of those training videos. That would be cool. You'll be played all over the world.
That's right. Hopefully I'll go viral.
All right. Quickly, Donna, I know you want to plug something. Go ahead and plug away.
Meow.
Okay.
Those are the calls to everyone in the area to come and help the Herkimer Humane Society tomorrow night, Saturday, November 2nd. Go to 12 North Sports Bar. 7 o'clock, we have raffles. 8 o'clock, we have the Happy Hags dancing and screaming nurse. And then we have costume contest. You get little coffins as trophies from the Dan Inga Funeral Home. Oh, my God. This is going to be great, this event.
All right.
You
have 10 seconds.
All kinds of stuff going on for the Herkimer
Humane Society.
And it's tomorrow. Join Screaming Nurse. Go Animal Costume Party after Halloween.
Okay.
Wear those costumes. And I want to see you guys. Come on. I know baby can't, but come on.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
have
It's-
something planned already, but I would be there.
If
Right
you
now,
can't
Senator
donate
Griffo's
and help
checking
us-
his calendar. He's booked. Oh, boy.
Yeah, you guys are all
Mr.
booked.
Smullen?
You know what? You can donate to your local shelter. They are
Okay.
all over capacity. They are stressed.
No doubt
They
about
need
it.
your
And
help.
with winter coming,
So
it's very
tomorrow
important.
night-
All right.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 12 North, Screaming Nurse Biscuit, and a lot of contests and fun.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Donna.
Does she have a business that does fundraisers? Because every week she's got another fundraiser.
She doesn't. She's very impassioned about different things going on in the community.
Assemblyman Smullen, what do you want to say to people as we're going into the final weekend and we're now going into our final 3 minutes? She took more than a minute. I'm just telling you.
This is your out time, so
I
you chose
know
to
that.
keep her that
I
long,
get
so
it.
that you have
It's
to
my
suffer
fault.
the consequences.
We're having timing problems here. I tend to like to talk, and I don't leave room for commercials, and they're getting all mad at me about it.
That's okay. So in a New York Minute, what the listeners out there really need to know is it's time to get out and vote. I just heard some numbers that voting in New York, early voting is off the charts.
Oneida County is incredible. And by the way, Republicans, by about 3,000 voters, are outpacing Democrats right now in
That's
early
right.
voting.
So we have actually embraced the idea that we're going to bank the vote. Sometimes Republicans in the past had felt, well, you need to vote only on election day. But now we're deep into the early voting period, and people are actually coming out. And that's a really huge deal. Especially because what we're hearing, and this is something new for everybody out there, is in Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona, the trend right now is for independents are actually coming out for President Trump
interesting.
in those states. So this is going to be really interesting to watch actually on Election Day itself.
Yeah.
You know, what happens in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. Because it's coming down into the balance.
A lot of independents have voted here locally as well, and the tallies that they're doing with the United County Board of Elections, pretty interesting to watch. And Joe, it's today, tomorrow, and Sunday for early voting, and then Tuesday,
Election Day,
6 a.m. until 9 p.m.
And it looks like it's going to be a nice day weather-wise. And
it's going to be 73 on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
crazy weather.
Thanks for having us on today. And it's been a privilege and honor for me to have served and represented the people of this district. And hopefully I will continue to have that opportunity.
Assemblyman Smullen, how's it feel to not have an opponent?
It feels great, you know, and that's one of those things. But I urge people to get out and vote. It's your civic duty. It's your constitutional duty. Everybody that's listening ought to get out there and do it because, you know, in New York's case, the control of the House of Representatives actually runs right through this listening area, whether it's for Brandon Williams, Mark Molinaro, you know, Elise Stefanik. That's going to actually going to be what tips the scales.
Stefanik seems safe. However, Brandon Williams and even Molinaro, those are tight races right now.
They're very tight.
Yeah, it's going to be
so
interesting.
you're talking about predictions. I'll go on record with one prediction right now that Assemblyman Robert Smullen will have a decisive and overwhelming victory at 9 p.m. or 9:05 p.m. on November 5th.
Love it. Well, congratulations on his prediction right there. And
well,
Joe,
I say thank you to all the people out there. That's the real thing. I appreciate their vote and I appreciate the support and I thank them.
And you know, one of the concerns that I think people had is with all the redistricting that's gone on, Herkimer County and the Mohawk Valley were always lumped together. That's not the case now. And you're from further down to the eastern part of the district, but you spend a lot of time here.
I do, and that's really important so people know who I am and what they're voting for when they say our voice, our values, Smullen in the Assembly.
And you know, you can model your efforts after Senator Griffo, who I would think this year is breaking a record. He has not missed one fish fry in all of upstate New York.
Need to support our local organizations, as you heard. So thank you all very much, and please get out and vote and stay safe.
Enjoy the weekend, everybody.
I'm James Myers, candidate for state senate. Growing up, we didn't have much, like a lot of families who work hard to get by here in the Mohawk Valley. I joined the Army so that I could afford college, but service to our country taught me so much more. Like how important it is to keep our communities safe, to fully fund our police departments and emergency services, especially in rural areas. When I came home from active duty, I cared for my mom while she battled cancer. It was frustrating and complicated to get the care she needed. I wouldn't wish that struggle on anyone while they are also fighting for their life. I know our region badly needs better health care. I learned the value of service from the Army and the difference it can make in people's lives. And that's why I'm running for state senate, to serve the people, to work hard to make your life a little easier, a little safer. I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid for by Friends of James.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
A big hiring slowdown. I'm Dave Anthony. In the last big economic report before the presidential election, the October jobs report just out came in way below expectations.
12,000 jobs added.
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni.
We haven't seen this number since December of 2020.
The government's also revised August and September hiring down. 112,000 fewer jobs created in those months than first reported. The unemployment rate last month remained the same, though, 4.1%. The economy remains the biggest issue for many voters, especially inflation.
I will enact the first ever federal ban on
on corporate price gouging on groceries.
Vice President Harris in Las Vegas.
If Kamala is reelected, New Mexico's economy will be reduced to rubble. You're not going to be drilling oil. There's no more drilling. There's no more oil. You can forget it.
Former President Trump in Albuquerque. He also went to Nevada, and both also campaigned in Arizona. Today, there will be dueling Trump-Harris rallies in Wisconsin, and the former president will also go to Michigan, another toss-up state, and he may again bring up President Biden calling Trump supporters garbage. The White House insists, though, the president didn't, editing the transcript of what he said, putting an apostrophe after the R in supporters in the transcript to make it look singular, like he was only referring to one now infamous supporter. That angered the White House stenography office, which did not improve that change.
The White House is not explaining what exactly happened here, just to say the president confirmed in his tweet on Tuesday evening that he was addressing the hateful rhetoric from the comedian at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. That was reflected in the transcript.
Fox's Peter Ducey, that comedian, caused a stir calling Puerto Rico garbage. A shooting after midnight in downtown Orlando, Florida, left 2 people dead during a Halloween celebration.
Those victims are currently in stable condition. Shortly after the reported shots fired, a shooting suspect was located and taken into custody.
Police Chief Eric Smith talking about the 6 people wounded. America's listening to Fox News.
Life takes a toll on our bodies, no way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical job, over time, your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain. Relief Factor. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. The difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good. And it's 100% drug-free. If the pains that come with living a full life are affecting you, do as so many others have. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet. We can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 9:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, it is 60 degrees under clear skies. Temperatures will continue to fall. We've got your full weather forecast in minutes. This update brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts. Utica police are releasing more details about an incident that happened involving a vehicle and 4 pedestrians struck. Police say at approximately 3:15 Wednesday, police and fire units were dispatched to the 400 block of Blandina regarding reports an individual operating a vehicle struck multiple people. Upon arrival, personnel located multiple people still suffering from various injuries. It was learned through the course of an investigation that there were several fights throughout the day that led to a larger fight on the 400 block of Blandina. As the fight was occurring, a 17-year-old female intentionally drove her vehicle directly into the crowd, striking multiple people. Thankfully, the injuries of those hurt were not serious or life-threatening. Through the investigation, the identity of the driver was developed and she was arrested. She's being charged with several charges, including attempted assault, reckless endangerment, and criminal possession of a weapon. Firefighters responded to a house fire in the town of Columbia Thursday. Calls for a fire on Elizabethtown Road came in just about 4:30 p.m., not far from the Cedarville Fire Department. The fire chief says the house was a rental and no one has lived there since July. Fire officials believe the fire began in the first-floor living room. Multiple companies were called in to battle the fire because there were no hydrants in the area. The home is not a total loss, and fire investigators will be back on scene Friday as the cause is still under investigation. Multiple people are recovering from injuries sustained in a Dryden accident. It happened late Wednesday evening, and one vehicle went up in flames. Medics airlifted a victim to the hospital while another was transported by an ambulance. Moments ahead of the crash are still being investigated. And be sure to grab a light jacket before you leave home today. That's because temperatures are expected to fall about 10 degrees by this evening. The daytime high will reach 62, and then showers will be expected later in the day as well. We'll see temperatures in the low 50s. Your forecast is coming up.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM is celebrating its 99th birthday with talk show host and comedian Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and I am coming. This is not a drill, folks.
Jimmy Fallon heard on WIBX and radio stations around the country weekdays and seen on his live TV show Saturday nights on Fox News Channel. His